did I do wrong? It's all a mystery to me. Baby, I feel it too. But what am I supposed to do? Maybe I just changed. Or could I be wrong for you?
Today is December 11th, the year of our Lord, 2020. And I'm having fun. Yeah, I'm having fun. I let that intro run like 80, 90 seconds, man. You think I'm doing that if I ain't having fun? Yeah, I'm having some fun. Yeah, I'm having some fun. You know why I'm having some fun? I'll tell you. Because this James Harden situation is cracking me up. I legit wake up like I just want to see. He finally reported to camp, but in the days until he reported to camp, I was just checking like Carmen Sandiego, like where the hell is James Harden partying at next? Wow, he's in Vegas, Atlanta, Monaco. Wow. So I've been having a blast, man. Really having a blast. He's just been like, while his teammates have been like reporting to camp and saying goodbye to their families, he is just on tour, like in every single nightclub in the country, like Terrio, from like, what was Terrio, like 1985? It was like 30, yeah, Terrio was like 1985, feels like. So yeah, he's been in Atlanta with Lil Baby. He's been in Vegas also with Lil Baby. And when he comes back, he just came back, he's got to test negative for COVID 6 straight days before he is cleared. And I tweeted this, and I deleted it because it was gaining the wrong traction. I'll say it here because it's not in print form. If Harden tests negative 6 straight times, hey, this shit might be a hoax, man. This shit might be cap. That man was partying. You understand? Like, he could not have been any more in the streets. No mask, just vibes. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say it here again. I'm kidding. This shit's very real. It's not a hoax. Period. But he's back now. So he just showed up to camp. And apparently he said that, or I don't know if he said it or his camp, somebody came out that there is a frame of thinking that the Rockets are the Knicks South. I'm looking for here we go. A person familiar with James Harden's thinking described the Rockets culture as toxic and called them the Knicks of the South. That's fighting words, man. That's disrespect to be called the Knicks. But is he wrong? Is he wrong? The Knicks are like otherwise a decent organization who've been made a laughingstock by their joke of an owner. The Rockets are a decent organization that's been made a laughingstock by their owner. Wow. Like your boy Tillman Fertitta was asking Trump, begging for money, man. He said James and Russell, he said they both make $40 million a year, man. I'm down real bad. Like I'm down real bad, Donnie. I need your help, Dad. And I feel like everything I hear Tillman Fertitta say, not even upset me, but it's just like, fuck this guy. Like, I just wouldn't listen to him. There's a quote that said, I'm a fighter, said Fertitta, who has owned the franchise for 2 seasons. That's my culture. And I think the longer I own this team, they're going to pick up more of my culture. We had the Warriors. We should have stepped on their throat the other night and cut their throat. It's not, let's make a few shots and win. It's step on their throat and let's take it back to Houston and end it in 6. We'll pick up a few Tillmanisms along the way in the next few years. I don't know if that one's from his book, Shut Up and Listen. He had a book called Shut Up and Listen. So I can't imagine why or how the culture of that team could be toxic with that at the top. Like, Maybe it's making some sense to you guys. I don't know. But the thing with Harden, it's sounding like he wants Brooklyn. And it came out, he added a couple teams. Like, he'd accept Philly. I think he said the Bucks. Somebody else. The Heat. Bucks. I think the Bucks and the Heat were the two added to Philly and Brooklyn. And I've seen some people say, and I think it's valid, I just saw it a different way. I've seen some people say they took that as, well, you realize Brooklyn's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Better add Philly, get your second and third choices up, James, because that's not happening. I took it the other way. Like, if you remember last year, AD was going to the Lakers. When he was still a Pelican, he was going to the Lakers. Lakers. And then it was like, AD's added a couple teams to his list. The Bucks, the Knicks, the Clippers, not the Celtics, per AD's dad, but he added those teams. That to me feels like if I say I'm going to one team, it feels like it's almost certainly some sort of tampering, right? You got to add a couple teams. Like, you think James Harden finna play in Milwaukee, man? Like, respectfully, you know what I'm saying? He ain't playing in no fucking Milwaukee. Come on now. And the thing, like, because this cracks me up. Like, I've been trying to like read and listen to podcasts of anybody talking about this because it kills me. Every single thing I find out kills me. And the thing I learned, I guess most recently, is like nobody, I mean, I knew this, but nobody in the NBA wants to look weak, right? Nobody wants to look like they gave in to the pouting star, especially not Tillman broke boy Fertitta, right? And so Tim McMahon, who is the Rockets writer for ESPN, right? So he got boots on the ground. I'll say this I don't agree with everything McMahon say, but I don't think he's a capper. If I don't think you're a capper, I could probably listen to you because I think you're reporting, what you hear. And he said the Rockets are willing to get uncomfortable with this. Quote, the Rockets are willing to get uncomfortable, end quote. Okay. Because this is what uncomfortable looks like. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to get uncomfortable? James Harden said, bet. Okay. Like, this is what it looks like. He's got 2 years left on his deal, this year and next year, and a player option. So he's got 2 years left on his deal, right? Because, I mean, if he doesn't want to be there, he's not picking up the player option. That's 2 years. 1 year, like we see now, you got 1 year left. It's basically free agency. Slick 2 now, man. It's slick 2. So, like, is this what y'all want to deal with for 2 years? Because y'all don't want to look like y'all got punked. And I get it. Nobody want to look like they got punked. I get that. But if y'all willing to get uncomfortable, he's clearly willing to get uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he's going to sit out any games like 80. Like 80's last year in New Orleans was, I didn't like it at the time, but even at the time it was like, hey, if he gets to LA and they win and it works out, then none of it matters. And that's what happened. None of it matters. And same thing here. But I don't think Harden is sitting out games like 80. I think Harden, not even in a bad way. Like the 30-point streak, he liked that. He liked leading the league and scoring 3 straight years. He climbing up the all-time rankings, like 3-pointers made, points list fast. I don't think he's willing to. I think he's 31, they just said. 80 was 25, I think, last year. You know what I'm saying? Sitting out a year at 25 is different than one at 31 after you done come off, I don't know how many first teams Harden made in a row. So I don't think he sits out like that, but he's shown. Y'all remember all the vines, the videos, the clips of James Harden just not caring about defense at all, right? And this is when they was trying to win the conference, man. They're trying to win the championship, and he just got his hands on his hip. People just cut back door. He just like, it is what it is. I'll get it back on the other end. So my question to the Rockets, are y'all really ready to get uncomfortable? You know what I'm saying? You trying to drive up the price. He trying to drive it down. That's business. So are you really ready to get uncomfortable? Because it's the first week of training camp. And I won't say he's made fools out of them, but it has not been a great start to camp, I would think. And then within like listening, reading all this stuff, I'm just hearing more like, has player empowerment, has the scales tipped too far? The player's too empowered. And I don't buy that. I don't know if I'll ever buy that. I don't know if I'll ever buy that in terms of the like the millionaires making good decisions that don't benefit the billionaires. And now player empowerment went too far. Like Al Horford, Ricky Rubio, these guys were good soldiers, good locker room guys, not going to mess up a locker room or anything like that. Both signed deals last year and both got traded. Now they both in Oklahoma City, bro. Rubio was like, bet, little 3-year deal with Phoenix. Horford was like, okay, Philly trying to win a title. I can help guard Giannis. And now they both in Oklahoma City. So I understand it. Again, that's business. So that's why I'm just not here for any. Has player empowerment went too far the other way? No, it hasn't. And y'all don't want to see it go this far the other way. Like I really do feel like Harden probably like, man, yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Just y'all wait. And I'm hearing that Houston's got the leverage because Harden's under contract. But when do the rules apply to superstars? This ain't even just a basketball thing. This is just life. When do the rules apply to like the superstars, the elite, the top 3, 5, 10, whatever of people at their position, of people in the world that can do what they do? When do the rules apply to them? Never. Like what? Why do you think it's gonna happen now? Like what are they gonna fine them? Oh, okay. They're not gonna fine them for. I think they're not gonna fine them for 2 reasons. One, and it was a thing I think Zach Lowe and McMahon talked about, is like no team wants to be the organization known for finding superstars. That would put you in bad standing with other stars. And 2, bro, James Harden just turned down 2 years and $100 million deal. You gonna find him out of $20,000 a day for camp? He just gave little baby $100,000 for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay. He'll pay them weak ass fines. And then you'll have the stigma, like it's not gonna work out the way they think. Like outside of outside the Rockets, Harden got, I think, $200 million plus in Adidas money, dude. They would probably cover the, like, you know what I'm saying? He like, hey man, every time I go to the club with Lil Baby, I'm gonna have on my new signature shoe. And Adidas is like, bet, we'll cover that. What's the fine? $10,000 for not going to camp? Like he's not gonna miss games. So it's just okay. We'll play these little. You're not playing no preseason games. We'll pay this little couple $100,000. You know what I'm saying? Probably see if we can get it to go to charity. Tax write off. Everybody wins. I do think the bigger issue, and not even bigger, but Harden was clearly violating, like the NBA has a COVID protocol. He was clearly violating that. They have rules about reporting to practice. He was violating that. So again, are you going to fine him? If you're going to fine him, go right ahead. It's not going to make you look like the good guy. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to benefit you to anybody that matters. Like the basketball reference will probably salute you, but you know what I'm saying? You're not going to get any. Ain't no star going to be like, yeah, they laid down the law on James Harden. I want to play for Tillman Furtada. No, I don't think that's how it's going to work. And I hear a lot about like the Houston culture. And there's something McMahon says like, hey, since you got here, James Harden, the culture has been you. It's been built around you, which is correct. That is correct. But also, who enabled this, right? When James Harden got, and any of these guys, Westbrook, you hear about any of them, it's like all these guys they've just so empowered, they just can't be checked. They have too many yes men. Well, is it that, or is it from the time James Harden walked in that door, y'all did every single thing he wanted, right? Dwight was in, then he was out. Melo was in, then he was out. Chris Paul was in, then he was out. Russell Westbrook was in, and then he was out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So James Harden ain't making them trades by himself. If you enabled him, then I don't really have much sympathy for you being like, oh, he's running amok. Okay. That's how, yeah, you spared the rod and you spoiled the child. So I don't really have any sympathy. They said the same for Russ in Oklahoma City. It's like, oh, Russ is just such a prickly character. And it's like, by all accounts, when he came in at 19 or 20, he was like just quiet, humble, all these things. Probably still a good bit of these things. So it's like, I mean, it ain't all on y'all, but y'all, to some extent, enabled this. Y'all did everything Harden wanted, and then he asked for y'all to do something, and you said no, and now it's his fault? Y'all enabled everything but this? He did what he had been doing, and it's his fault? Then I say, just because it's funny, like I wouldn't call myself a I'm not a James Harden fan. I'm not a hater either. He's just I feel like I can acknowledge his talent, his strengths and weaknesses. Tremendous player, but I wouldn't call myself a fan. But if he gonna keep partying with Lil Baby during training camp, I might could call myself a James Harden fan. I might could do that. I tell you who I do feel bad for though. I feel bad for Steven Silas. Steven Silas is the first-year head coach of the Rockets. He came over from the Mavericks, like a highly touted assistant. He is Hall of Famer. I don't know if Paul Silas is a Hall of Famer, but former player, former coach, Paul Silas. It's his son. He apparently crafted this like legendary offense in Dallas and was highly regarded, well respected. This is his first job, but it sounds like he wasn't who James Harden wanted to hire. And that sounds like the KD Steve Nash thing, man. How much juice do you got? KD said, yeah, I want Steve Nash. And the Nets said, then it's Steve Nash. Period. I'm not sure who Harden wanted, but it sounds like he didn't want Steven Silas. So, again, that's who I kind of feel bad for because he took this job, like first-time head coach, new GM. He's got two All-NBA players, right? Like All-NBA, that's top 15. He got two of those, right? And now he already don't have one. He might not have either when it's time to start the season. Like realistically, for only Steven Silas, I hope they go on and trade him and like tank this year so he can use this year to like get his feet wet. You know what I'm saying? Like they've got some pieces there. They could even like that's why I don't think it's a horrible idea if the Rockets trade Harden. Like sometimes they should just run to the end of his rope. You know what I'm saying? They got as close as they could get that game 6 and 7 against the Warriors. And Chris Paul got hurt, but again, that's part of it. They lost. They rolled over last year or this past year against the Lakers in the bubble. So it's worse things than starting over, especially if this 2021 draft, this next year's draft is as good as it's supposed to be. Right? Tank this year with Steven Silas. Let him learn the ropes. You could probably, I'm almost certain you could like play up PJ Tucker, probably trade him for a first. Not a good one, but probably a first if you're not going to keep him. Christian Wood's good. I think like Christian Wood is going to be good. I'm going to be watching for Boogie and Wall regardless. That's a given. But I don't know. I just hope that Steven Silas like gets the chance, right? Like he coaches this year, it goes terrible because it's hard and shit. And then like next year it doesn't go so hot. And it's like, well, Steven Silas is out of there. He got to be assistant for 10 more years to get another crack at it. He blew it. He happened to be the coach when James Harden wanted out. He blew it. So I think he will get a shot because I know Tillman Fertitta broke ass don't want to be paying two coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like D'Antoni's contract ran out. He wasn't fired. He don't want to pay one coach. So he damn sure don't want to pay two. But the question I have and that I ask now is seriously, how are you supposed to leave a situation as a superstar? Like I looked at the past 3 All-NBA teams. Like 2017, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20 this past year. So many of those guys have traded teams. Like from this past year, Harden, I put a maybe on him. But Chris Paul and Westbrook, All-NBA this year, both of them traded. Last year, 2018-19, Paul George, first team traded. KD, Kawhi, Kyrie, Kemba Walker, all left in free agency. Westbrook, traded again. 2017, 2018, the year before that. KD again, but he left. AD traded. DeMar DeRozan traded. Jimmy Butler traded. Paul George traded. Russell Westbrook traded again. And you got like Kemba, Gordon Hayward, like guys have left, right? But it just feels like what's really the ideal way to leave? And that's not like Harden's not doing it the right way. He's doing it the funniest way. And if it works, maybe it is the right way. But like Jimmy Butler showed up, like he didn't miss no time, but he showed up to practice and bitched and yelled at his teammates and belittled everyone until they traded him. Paul George, he asked nicely. He was like, please? And they were like, yes, okay, Paul. Kawhi was hurt, didn't agree with their treatment, didn't resign, they traded him. LeBron had an announcement. They didn't like that. he didn't have an announcement, I think they like that a little bit more. Like KD wrote the Players Tribune, and that was I think people were just so mad he went to the Warriors. Nobody even cared. There was no way he could have announced he was going to the Warriors. You know what I'm saying? If he did the press conference like LeBron announcement, if he just showed up there, like I'm just here now, there was nothing he was going to do. So that was going to get people to be like, yes, okay, we get it. We understand. We're fine with you making this choice that affects your life. And Russell Westbrook asked for a trade this past year after a terrible postseason showing, and he got out. He seems to be fine. That guy was smiling up a storm in Washington. The guy was smiling the hardest. So I've read an article. It's got a few, like they listed the Harden trade teams based on, like, do you have the assets to get him? 1. 2, would he stay? 3, do you have the assets to get him and also still compete like for a championship? It ain't like, yeah, we got Harden and a couple solid players, man. 5 seed. No, he stay in Houston for that. So ESPN did an article. I'm just going to go through some of these quickly. And I've got these ranged from like absolutely not. If I'm Houston, I'm trading James Harden. I've got these ranked from hell no to I'm listening. And the first one ESPN had was the Knicks. Their offer was like all the Knicks picks, the Mavs picks they got for Porzingis, and some matching salary. Hell no. Next one, the Warriors. They had the Warriors getting Harden in exchange for Andrew Wiggins, Kevon Looney, James Wiseman, and that Minnesota pick next year. Better than the Knicks. Depends on how you feel about Wiseman. That Minnesota pick should be pretty good, but I want no part of. If I'm trading James Harden, I'm not getting Andrew Wiggins back. So I'm all set there. It's a no for me. Next one, the Nuggets. The deal they had was the Rockets get Gary Harris, Will Barton, Michael Porter Jr. And I get it, right? Like in a vacuum, I get it, but I just don't like the Harden, Murray, Jokic fit. I really don't. Like this is a team that Denver, almost like all they have is fight, but you know they're going to fight. You don't necessarily know that about James Harden. I think it was Zach Lowe that said it was like, does any superstar like fold their cards quicker than James Harden? And it's like, I'm trying to think of one, man. Like when things ain't going their way, it's like, oh boy, James standing in the corner. So I just don't like that fit. I just don't that's a no for me. Like Jokic is one of the best passers in the league right now, best passing big man ever. Murray plays off him perfectly. And you're going to like stop all that to put the ball in Harden's hand. He's like a superior talent, but I don't like that fit. The next one, Miami. They had Miami gets James Harden, and the Rockets get Iguodala, Kelly Olynyk, Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, and Tyler Herro. And for that, I say I'm just not trading James Harden and not getting draft capital back. I need at least 1-2 picks, a pick swap or two. Like the Heat can only trade, I saw their 2025 and 2027 draft picks, their first round picks. So it's no dice for me. But it's just a sidebar. People have been talking about the Heat culture. The culture is to get superstars, right? Like, I like the Heat, right? Bam, Harrell, Pat Riley's a Kentucky guy. I like it, but people are making it out like the Heat coach. No, they work hard and they put you on a treadmill and they get you in good shape and that's how they win. No, they get superstar talent. That's how they win. That's the culture. And it's not it's a great thing. It's working out great for them, right? Yeah, they got those out of shape slobs, LeBron James and Chris Bosh, to sign. Like they really turned Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway, guys who made all-star teams before they got to Miami. They really, you know what I'm saying? Alonzo Mourning was just, I mean, we can all say it, clearly out of shape. If everyone remembers anything about Alonzo Mourning, they say he was never in shape. So, like that being your, it's not a bad thing. I was talking about teams' cultures today on Twitter, and I got, people don't like when you put the culture of their team into like one sentence, one tweet. They just don't like that. Like I said, the Heat culture is getting star talent. Great culture. The Lakers culture, Lakers fans didn't get mad because they know it's their culture. And it's a great culture. There's nothing to get mad about. The Lakers culture is waiting until like the best big man in the world gets upset. And then going to get him. And it's been working like a charm, man. Dwight ain't work out the first time. Worked the second time, though. That's championship Dwight now. And I think the one that got me the biggest flack or the biggest pushback was I said that the Spurs culture was getting the number one pick in the year that Tim Duncan was available. And I got a lot of pushback on that. I stand by it. I think this is me saying I think Greg Popovich is one of the best coaches of all time, right? Like if you give everybody the same exact roster, I think he and probably Larry Brown are probably duking it out in the finals just in terms of just give everybody the same C+, B+, A+ roster. Popovich would maximize it. And I say this for like Tony Parker and Steven Jackson and Manu, all the pieces they hit on to make it work. Like I don't want to take away from that either. But the culture was Tim Duncan. Let's not get that ever fucked up, right? The culture was Tim Duncan. They won a title with Steven Jackson as the third leading scorer. They won a title with a 19-year-old Tony Parker because of Tim Duncan. Not because they hit on Ginobili. And again, all that stuff, you need more than one hit for a dynasty, right? 5 titles and 6 tries is a dynasty. And none of that, 0% of that works without Tim Duncan. It is what it is. Like the Cavs culture, have a great player be born in your state and hope he signs with you. Like hope you can draft him and then build a team around him. You fail to do it the first time and then succeed. Like that. Your culture's your culture, man. It is what it is. And that's not to take away from any, like the Malik Roses and the Tiago Splitters, like the pieces that they hit on in the margins. But the reason for the season is Tim Duncan now. Like, come on. The Warriors have made a plethora of great moves and all that. The reason for the season is Steph Curry. Right? Like that's just, it's not, everything is built off of that. You remove that, it's Jenga, man. I don't care who you picked. I don't care when you picked Draymond in the second round. Like, you know what I'm saying? They had Draymond, Clay, getting KD, great. It works because of Steph. He's the first building block. So, yeah, people didn't like that. Next trade offer they had, the Bulls. They had the Bulls get Harden. The Rockets get Otto Porter for salary, Zach LaVine, and they listed all these young. I imagine they probably, like you give up maybe like 2 of them, like of Markkanen, Wendell Carter Jr., Patrick Williams, Kobe White. I mean, you tell them take 2 of them, maybe? I don't know. 2 of them or 1 and some picks. I don't know. And I'll say this. I think that's exactly the type of team that should be in the mix for James Harden. Exactly the type of mix. Because, like, big market, it's the Eastern Conference, and we've just seen, if you get the first star, it's easier to get the second star. James Harden did it like 4 straight years. Now, he got the second star traded like 4 straight years. But you get the first star, you can get the second star. And, I mean, at least for a year before he gets him traded, you know what I'm saying? But I would love for an out-of-the-mix team to get in on it. Like Raptors, Kawhi, that was fun, man. It was like, Kawhi could be a Raptor? What? No way. Oh, wow, championship. Huh, how about that? So I don't hate that. Like, we're moving on. I don't hate that at all. My deal, I would try to Porter, LaVine. LaVine would hurt because I think I'm higher on LaVine. Markkanen, I would want to keep Wendell Carter Jr., and if you think Patrick Williams is that like big enough to draft him for, then yeah, Laurie and Kobe White can go. Take talent to get talent. Next one, the Celtics. The Celtics would get James Harden. The Rockets would get Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and 3 first-round picks, all of Boston's own picks. And again, these are the trades that ESPN like proposed. I'm just reacting to them. And my reaction to this, I think the Celtics should be in the mix, but I do not want a Kemba Harden backcourt. I do not want a Kemba Harden backcourt. Ideally, I want Harden, Smart, Tatum. Like, those are the three I want. Fill out the big spots with whoever. Shooting, whatever. Those are the three I want. Smart cover for Harden defensively. Tatum a plus defender. Harden's that, like, primary ball handler. I think, like, what's going to make Tatum so dangerous, I think, like, you're hoping it's Kemba. But Tatum, you don't have somebody that can guard Jason Tatum and James Harden. Right? Like, it's just rare. That's just rare. You got somebody that can guard Kemba and Jason Tatum. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I like Kemba. But my trade there, I'd give up however many picks, because Boston have all these picks and they turn into the 14th pick and the 26th pick and the third. Like, I'm good. You can take all the picks in the world. They've got a number of young guys: Langford, Nesmith, Grant Williams, Robert Williams, Carson Edwards. Take whoever. Maybe you can get them to take back Eric Gordon's contract because they want a bench score. But yeah, them trash picks ain't doing it. I would try to make a trade around, I think it'd have to be Kemba and Jaylen Brown. I think, like, you're not getting Harden without Jaylen Brown. I think he has to be in that deal. And it would suck, but I'd probably do it if I could keep Tatum, Harden, Smart, and then fill out the bigs. So Celtics is interesting. I don't think he'll end up there. And I can't wait to hear whenever something happens and then the Celtics immediately leak what they gave up or what they were willing to offer and what they end up not offering. Next one is the Nets. This is the trade I feel like everybody's seen. Nets get Harden, Rockets get LeVert, Allen, Karis LeVert, Jared Allen, Spencer Dinwiddie, Taurean Prince, and future picks and pick swaps. And this is the one if I had to bet on it, I think James Harden ends up a Net. I do. I think it's what he wants, and we've just seen when a guy locks in on the team wants him back. They figure out a way to get it done. So it'll be enough picks and pick swap. People are saying like LeVert and Allen, that's not enough to be a centerpiece around Harden. It never is, right? That's why you add in 5 picks and 5 pick. Like that's how you make up that gap. So, and I mean, I guess Brooklyn would be hesitant, like shades of KG and Paul Pierce to Brooklyn. But one, these guys, I think all these guys are younger at the time than any of those guys were. And 2, all 3 of these guys are better. Kyrie, Harden, KD are better right now than KG or Paul Pierce were at that time. So if I had to bet, I do think Nets is where he ends up. Next one, and again, I got these ranked just in terms of the ones I like. This is the one I really like. The Pelicans. The Pelicans get Harden. Because I've been saying, I was like, they can get James Harden without Zion or Brandon Ingram. I said that before they traded Drew Holiday. Now I know they can get him. I know they can get him. The deal they had was Lonzo, J.J. Redick, Josh Hart, Jackson Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker for Harden. But then also, New Orleans owns all their own first-round picks. They have 2 Lakers picks, 2022, 2024, and a pick swap in 2023. They have 2025 and 2027 Milwaukee picks and 2024, 2026 pick swaps. Okay, so that's all their own picks. And 7 future picks or pick swaps from 2 separate teams. Bro, take all of them. Them Lakers picks gonna be trash. The Milwaukee picks, if Giannis signed, gonna be trash. But you know the Lakers pick, Bron and AD signed. Those Lakers picks are bunk. They're gonna stink. So that feel like the trade to me, man. Something around Lonzo, like Hart, Hayes, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Houston just tears it all the way down, and a boatload of picks. Houston would have like Lonzo and Hart. You can see what you want to pay them. Alexander-Walker and Hayes is young talent. Redick, I think you could probably flip off to a third team, right? Marcus Morris got a first-round pick. You might could get like a bad first-round, like a low first-round pick for Redick. And New Orleans would still have Harden, Zion, Ingram as a third scorer, and you still have Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe, Nicola Melli, and Kira Lewis, buddy from Alabama they just drafted, and whatever picks you have left. Like this feels, I don't know if he'd stay there, but this feels like the team like, hey, we can have a little bit of, like, we can upgrade now without really jeopardizing our future. So I like that one. But the number one trade for me it's the Sixers, man. I think it just makes too much sense. It just makes too much sense. Like, Sixers get Harden, Rockets get the one ESPN had was Simmons, Matisse Thybulle, and draft picks. They can trade their 2021, 22, or 23 picks. And it's just the best blue chipper they can get for Harden. I think it's the individual, the single best player you can get for Harden, like blue chip talent. He's 7 years younger. He's locked up for 5 more years. No player option. That's going to be cheaper than Harden just because it's his rookie deal. He's already made an all-star team. He's already all-NBA. He's first team all-defense. And if he's healthy, which it sounds like it is, I think he's back at camp. That's the jackpot, man. That's the jackpot. Embiid's deal runs 3 more years. Harden's deal could run 3 more years. Right? I'm just saying. And if Houston trades for him, if Houston trades him to Philly, Chris Paul did the thing when he went to LA, like the Clippers, not the Lakers. Sorry, Lakers fans. But he agreed to pick up the option like as part of the trade. So the Clippers were getting 2 years off the rip instead of 1. So if I'm Philly, depending on what you give up, you could be like, okay, James, but either one, you're accepting that 3rd-year option. So we've got 3 years of you. Or 2, when we get you here, we're giving you the wink wink, you know what I'm saying? We'll give you a max. Like, don't worry about that, old boy. You know what I'm saying? Whatever deal you got to give them to make them feel comfortable. Like, we know time and time again, I feel like we see there are no championship windows, quote unquote championship windows. But at the same time, Brooklyn, Philly, Boston, Miami too. These are teams that can conceivably make a finals in the next 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And if you make it to the finals, all bets are off. All bets are off. This year, the Heat had 2 starters miss games to injury. And I think they were going to lose that series anyway, but they took some major hits and took it to 6, the year before. The Warriors, you know what I'm saying, lost Clay and KD, 2 starters. A couple years before, like the Draymond suspension, the finals where Kyrie and Kevin Love were hurt. Like, this is just the finals since 2015, like the last 5-6 finals. So you get there, all bets are off. Your other side might just lose 40% of their starters. Who knows? So if you're a team that thinks you can get to the finals in the next 3 years, BK, Philly, Boston, I get why Chicago wouldn't. Chicago's not a title contender, but they're the one of those teams that's like, okay, we're going to get you here. We've got you for 2, hopefully 3 years. Let's see if we can get that second star because we're in the East and the East stinks. So, also, if I was any team at all, I'd give up whatever picks, man. Right? Like, not like 10, 12, not my picks to 20, 30. But if you legit want 2, 3 picks, some pick swaps, man, go for it, dude. Like, the Lakers won the title this year. They don't care about a single one of them picks. They don't have to win a game the rest of Anthony Davis's contract, and it was worth it. Same with the Clippers or the Bucks. If they win it this year, we just saw Paul George got, I think it was 5 years, $226 million. You get him to stay, the picks don't matter. You win it all, the picks don't matter. If Giannis resigns or they win it all this year, picks don't matter. So I'm pretty much a big advocate of, listen, that 2027 first round pick, man, I'm trying to win the 2021 NBA Finals. So I'm sure the kid that's in 7th grade right now is going to be sick. He's so sick. But no, I'll take Anthony Davis. Give me him. And quiet as it's kept, I'll keep this under y'all's hat. And I'm 100% serious. I think Atlanta is a year away from getting in these conversations. An ideal season, I think Atlanta's a year away. If Trey starts another all-star game, if they compete and get into the playoffs as they should, then they will have enough. Gallinari is your salary. That's $20 million right there. The talent, you could go Bogdanovich, Collins, Reddish, Herter, Hunter, Okongwu. You know what I'm saying? If the price is right. And they own all their own picks. So just sit with that. Just wait until, you know what I'm saying, Giannis is a Hawk the way he was supposed to be all along. But moving on, it's still basketball. But I'm not having fun with this one. And it's Kyrie versus basketball media. Basically everybody versus basketball. You know the shirt like Detroit versus everybody. Bro, it is NBA Twitter versus everybody. Basketball Twitter versus everybody. Because as I've long said, nobody in basketball Twitter likes basketball. So they want to ask questions and get angry about the answers or lack thereof. Like Karis LeVert was being asked about James Harden. Why are you asking Karis LeVert about James Harden? That's not his teammate. And if James Harden ends up being a Brooklyn Net, it means Karis LeVert is probably a Houston Rocket. So why are you asking him about that? Like PJ Tucker at the Rockets camp, they asked him about Harden, who wasn't even there. Like these are the best questions. And I don't know who individually asked these, but I'm just as a whole. Like the media, these are the best questions y'all got to ask, and you wonder why people why nobody want to talk to you. Like I sat down and thought, I was just like, what storylines, angles, potential questions about the Nets that do not involve Kyrie Irving? That do not involve Kyrie Irving can you ask? And these are just the ones I came up off the top of my head. One, why does Kyrie, among other star players, like feel this way? Feel that they don't want to or feel that they can't communicate with the media. Two, they have a first-time head coach in Steve Nash. Mike D'Antoni and Jacques Vaughn have been head coaches before. And Ime Udoka, I think I'm saying that right. He was a lead assistant. He was a head coaching candidate in his own right. Like it wouldn't have been a surprise to see him get that Rockets job. If what I remember is correct, you could ask, like that's a lot of. Is that going to be too many cooks in the kit? Like that, I feel like there's an angle there. I found out the Nets also have Tiago Splitter as an assistant. I'd like to know why he hates the Spurs. I feel like anybody that ever played for the Spurs, you got to start your coaching tree there. You could ask Spencer Dinwiddie, like what terrible Bitcoin or horrible investment idea he's got next. You could ask Michigan alum Karis LeVert where he think Jim Harbaugh's next job going to be, like the NFL or Zaxby's. Like I'd like to get the answer for that. Nate Sestina, who was a grad transfer to Kentucky, he played 1 year with us. He just signed like an Exhibit 10 deal. I don't completely understand Exhibit 10 deals, won't lie. But listen, Nate Sestina signing with the Nets is a good look. Right? It's a great look. He signed deals to play professionally in Ukraine and Russia and never played. And now he's a member of the Nets. Who's his agent? Like that's an angle. That's a storyline. Ask those questions. Like what are the expectations or the role for Joe Harris going into a big contract? Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot had a great bubble run. What's his role next year with the stars back? Landry Shamet, 3 teams. I think it's his third year, his third teams, his third playoff contender. Right? Like Landry don't do no rebuilding joints. Like the minute split for DeAndre and Jared Allen. And again, those are just 7, 8 that I came up with. And I'm not even saying that any of those are interesting, but neither is Kyrie's a weirdo. Don't listen to him. Like that's not interesting either. That shit played out. It's whack. And it's like if you're gonna discredit him for what he said about flat Earth or whatever, or for re-signing with the Celtics when he said he was willing to re-sign, why do you care if he won't talk to you now? Why do you care? Like during the bubble meetings or discussions or whatever, as the vice president of the Players Association, which he is, he spoke up on both sides. Remember the quotes came out like, hey, he was willing to shut it down. Like if we're not going to play, we're not going to play. But he was also like, hey, I have to ask that question. But if we decide to play, we decide to play. And he got called a disruptor for that. Why the fuck would he want to talk to you? You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're not asking any type of good or interesting question. Like I feel like, what does that say about you as a reporter, a writer, a journalist or whatever, that you don't have an angle outside of Kyrie Irving's weird? And he said some stuff about flat Earth a couple years ago, and that's it. Like that, you don't have a single angle outside of that? I can't imagine why he doesn't want to talk to you. And I understand, like fully admitting, he's probably an imperfect vessel for the message. But who's the perfect vessel, man? Right? Like, are you Are you missing the forest from the trees? Or are you intentionally throwing out the messenger because he's got somewhat of a decent message this time, right? Somewhat of a decent message. It's one of Patrice O'Neal's favorite bits of mine. And he was like, Alex Jones is a marbles in the ass guy. And the point is, like, Alex Jones will say, like, I feel like I don't have to differentiate. I think everybody knows who Alex Jones crazy ass is. Alex Jones will say, like, a lot of, like, you don't get that bit, like, just lies. You got to sprinkle them in, you know what I'm saying? So Alex Jones will say some truth. And Patrice was like, okay, you be nodding your head. And then Alex Jones will put marbles in his ass. So what are you going to remember about Alex Jones? The 3 true things he said, or that he put marbles in his ass? He's the marbles in his ass guy. That's Kyrie with the flat earth. And so I get it, but you can't also be like, well, we don't like you. Why won't you talk to us? Like, it just feels just whack to me. And like, they didn't want Kyrie's side when these stories was coming out of Boston and Cleveland about him being not a good leader, all this stuff. Like, I recently read one of them. And these were the examples. Honest to God, these were the examples listed of Kyrie's failed leadership. 1, in Boston, Brad Stevens drew up a last-second play. Kyrie expressed that he didn't like what he saw, right? Like, I'm not going out there. It wasn't even like listen, give the ball to me, or I'm not going out there like Pippen. He's like, I expressed he didn't like what he saw. That's how it was worded. They ran the play anyway. It didn't work. Tatum missed the shot. The Celtics lost. And I don't know if it was directly after or after it, like referring to that game, he was like, Kyrie said last year there were no expectations. And he was like, now it's different. With like Hayward and himself back, there were championship expectations. The second example was Jaylen Brown was hurt. Marcus Smart started. They won like 8 or 9 straight games. Kyrie praised him. Like, was he like, that's failed leadership? Like, that's the whole example. Somebody got hurt. Somebody else stepped up. They played well. Kyrie was like, yeah, this guy plays well. We play well with him playing. And they won 8, 9 straight games. That's failed leadership. Third example was the team that made that same team, the one that made the Eastern Conference Final without Kyrie, Hayward, like Terry Rozier, young Tatum, Brown, all them. And it was like, hey, he wanted to lead. Kyrie admitted, he was like, hey, I'm trying to learn leadership on the fly. And y'all let him? What happened to Brad Stevens or Danny Ainge or Al Horford or Gordon Hayward? Like, you know what I'm saying? Any one of these grizzled veterans, right? Y'all just let him. Is that failed leadership? He said he was trying, and y'all just let him fail. The fourth thing, he said, I've shared with some of my teammates, as well as the organization, as well as everyone else in Boston. If you guys will have me back, I plan on re-signing here next year. And this is a quote from the article. Despite his public utterances, it was often hard for anyone, including the Celtics themselves, to get a proper read on Irving's mood or thinking. It often left people in the organization walking on eggshells around him. End quote. They go back to like the Rockets, the Thunder thing. Whose fault is that? Whose fault? He came in and you walked on eggshells. You was scary. You was moving funny around him. Whose fault is that? He said he planned on coming back. Y'all didn't believe him. Right? Plans change. It feels like that's being held to him when like guys say lots of stuff that like Bron planned on winning 7, 8, 9 titles. It didn't work out like that. I think KD planned on winning in Oklahoma City. It didn't work out like that. I think AD planned on a future in New Orleans. I saw a graphic the other day with Paul George is basically guaranteed to die in the uniform of every team he's ever played for. It's like, I will die before I take off this uniform, Paul George, 48 minutes before getting traded. But again, plans change. You know what I'm saying? Like you say something, somebody keep asking, hey, I'm going to resign. Are you going to resign though? Are you still going to resign? I know I asked you yesterday, but are you still going to resign? So what? You ask him questions, he answers, and you don't believe him. And you can't figure out why he don't want to talk to you no more. Then another part in the article said, so when, quote, when he sat down at a shoot-around at Madison Square Garden the morning of February 1st, he let loose. When directly asked about his prior commitment to resign with the Celtics and if it still held, Irving had only this to say, ask me July 1st. While Irving made it clear he still believed in what Boston could accomplish, he said that his October commitment had been an example of getting caught up in the excitement of the moment. End quote. So he admits He was like, hey, I was excited, man. You know what I'm saying? I probably overspoke. He corrects himself. It's still a problem. And again, this is not to say he's blameless, right? This is he didn't do himself a lot of favors. One of which, if you remember the last 4 games of that Bucks, the last 4 games he played as a Celtic, he shot 25 for 83. He was missing shots left and right. And after, he's like, I should have shot even more because I'm a great shooter. It's like, okay, all right, maybe, all right. Maybe I wouldn't have said that. He did the commercial, and him and his pops are playing one-on-one in the garden. He looking up in the rafters. Again, it's heavy-handed, man, but I feel like at the time, you probably do have plans to do that. Like Anthony, every single person that got drafted, like every single person is like, yeah, now I'm LaMelo Ball. I think I can bring a championship to Charlotte. Like that's how they think. I plan on having my jersey retired here and being a like. I think that's for the most part how guys think, and it feels whack to hold it against them, even especially when they admit it's like, hey, yeah, I was too charged up, man. The boy had a little bit of drink in me. So when he says he's re-signing, you doubt him. You doubt him. He says the earth is flat, is taking his law. Nothing after that, he says, is taken seriously. Okay. So why are we in like this, whatever we're in right now? If whatever, you know what I'm saying, if the flat earth stuff just disqualify his opinion from ever being valid, then why is it still a story? Why y'all still want to talk to him? How y'all still ain't figured out a way to talk to him? Is that not like a journalist or a, you know what I'm saying, reporter's job? Find the angle. They're not giving me what I want. Let me find a different angle. Let me find out why. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just, well, let me just ask the same question over and over again and bitch at him because he's tired of hearing it. So that was pretty weak. Something that was less weak, but still kind of weak. And this is, I didn't mean to go this long on the NBA, but ESPN just did their top 100 players going into next season. So if we're only going into next season. Now, I'm not going to look at or read all 100. It's out there. But I've got, from the 100 list, I've got 5 overrated. I've got 5 underrated. And I got 5 guys I think were like perfectly rated. Like 5 guys I looked on that list and I was like, huh? No, listen, ESPN, they do it for clicks every year. And every year they get the clicks and every year we fall for it. But some of them I was like, yeah, no, that's fair. So the 5 I had too low. 87th on that list. And again, for only this upcoming year. 87th, they had Buddy Hield. I don't think there are 86 better players than Buddy Hield. Like, he's the same age as Bogdanovich. He took 10 threes a game last year and hit 39% of them. Right? Like, Davis Bertans. Davis Bertans? Yeah, he's like pretty much only a shooter, right? He ranks 61st on this list. And Buddy's like a high volume, high efficiency shooter with more shot creation skills. So I don't believe that Bertans is 26 better than Buddy Hield. Nah, sorry. 84, John Collins. Close personal friend, it is what it is. It's just a thing where, and I'll keep saying it, the Hawks won twice as many games with him on the floor than when he was out. They went 4-21 in his absence, right? So twice as much. It doesn't sound great, but then it's like, well, shit, twice as much in the Eastern Conference? That could have been an 8 seed. He was a +4 on that team, on a terrible team. You know what I'm saying? And just a crazy stat that I'll keep saying, the list of people to ever average 20 points a game in a season on 60% 2-point shooting and 40% 3-point shooting. So you average 20 a game, but you shoot 60% from 2, 40% from 3. 2 people all time have done that. 2. LeBron James, his 3rd year in Miami, the year he won first team All-NBA, first team All-Defense. He won regular season MVP. He won the NBA Finals. And he won NBA Finals MVP. And John Collins. That's the list. So I think he's better than 84th. Zach LaVine was 56th. I think that's too low. And this is a thing, like I see, I think in just the trend of the list. I think I value like what I saw in the playoffs maybe too much. And what I mean by that in the sense of like, shot creation. And this doesn't have nothing to do with Levine. He didn't make the playoffs. But something that was funny about this list to me is like the good bubble runs, like TJ Warren, people were skeptical. But if you had a bad bubble run, like Lonzo Ball, people were like, oh, no, that's just who he is. Those 7 games were who he is as a player. But Levine, I think I'm just generally higher on guys now. If you can create your own shot, that's kind of the name on the game, man. Name of the game. Like, and I think it's why I'm higher on Levine and Hield. I get their downfalls. They're not neither of those guys defenders. I get it. Neither of those are like lead ball handlers. I get that too. But Miami worked its way to game 6 of the finals because they had Butler that could create a shot, Bam that could create a shot, Dragic. You saw how bad they hurt when he went out, their leading scorer, Harrow and Nunn to a lesser extent. But those guys can create their own shot. They weren't like a top 3 offense. They weren't even like a top 10 defense. You know what I'm saying? Dragic, Harrow, Nunn, Duncan Robinson. None of those guys are plus defenders. But they shooters and create shot a little bit. Duncan Robinson showed a little more creation off the dribble. But like the 3-and-D guy, I won't say they haven't cracked the code, but they getting there. Right? Like they're getting there. Because if you have a 3-and-D guy, the other team can just guard him with anybody, right? Yeah, you put your center on Robert Covington because when he gets the ball at the 3-point line, just contest it. He's not going to blow past you. He's not going to pump fake, blow past you, dunk in the lane, and one. That's not his game. So, but you can't do that to Zach LaVine though. You put your center on Zach LaVine, he's going to score 45 points. So I think that's what I'm valuing a little more. And LaVine, he scored like 26 a night last year. Can create his shot. He can shoot, like really shoot. And he played the best defense of his career, which not saying much, but it is a good sign. It is a good sign. 52, got DeAndre Ayton, another close personal friend. Wow. Again, they won 55% of their games when he played. Similar to Collins, like when they missed them 25 games suspension, Suns were up and down. Hawks were terrible. But when those guys were back, they were playing ball. Like for Ayton, his offensive rebound, defensive rebound, block percentage, usage, all that went up and turnovers went down. The team defended like a top 6 team when he played. And now he has Chris Paul. So I think 52 is going to be too low for him. The last one of the too lows, and I can't believe we're going to do this again. We do this every single year. Number 36 was Russell Westbrook. Are we really going to do this again? We're going to rank him 36, and we're going to look up and be fake surprised when Russ is in the All-Star game. He's averaging 26 points, 9 boards, and 8 assists with crazy highlights. Like the Rockets, as much as they built that team around Russ, they were 24th in three-point percentage. Just the idea of spacing opened things up for them. The Wizards can shoot. They were 8th in three-point percentage. Like Bertans and Thomas Bryant, that's something that Houston couldn't do. Put a big around them that could shoot. Thomas Bryant and Bertans both shot 40% plus from 3. And that don't even count for Bradley Beal. So can't wait till Russell Westbrook 27, 7-7. Starts the All-Star game, top 10 selling jersey or whatever. And it's like, wow, who knew? Who knew? So the too high guys, got 5 guys I think were too high. 71, Mike Conley. Another close personal friend. I'm tough, but I'm fair. I'm tough, but I'm fair. And maybe last year, maybe it was, you know what I'm saying, new team, getting his feet wet. But his turnovers went up. His free throws went down. He didn't really look the same defensively or athletically. So I think 71's a little high. 70, the person right after him, Steven Adams. In the tidbit about Steven Adams, they call Steven Adams a walking double-double. Okay? So I was like, I don't think of him as like Mr. Double-Double, but maybe I'm wrong. Well, he's never averaged 1 in a season. And he had 22 last year. 22 double-doubles. Andre Drummond had 47 double-doubles last year. You know what I'm saying? 69 the year before. He's not on this list. And again, that's not to say Adams isn't better than Andre Drummond. But he ain't 30 spots. Like if you say Drummond's 101, it's Adams is 70, I ain't buying it. Like Like they paid 3 years, 60 million, 20 mil per for the next 3 years for Adams. Or would you take Drummond this year, 29, but you get to decide and see what he gets next year? Because I do not want to be paying Steven Adams 2 years from now $20 million or whatever it's going to shake out to be. 64 on the too high list, Kevin Love. Again, it's for only this upcoming season, and I just think he more than likely starts it and finishes it in Cleveland because nobody wants that deal. Nobody's risking next summer's next offseason, I guess I should say, their cap space for $30 million a year, Kevin Love. Don't nobody want your 15 points and 7 rebounds a game for $90 million. You know what I'm saying? Like the last 2 years he's been healthy. The rebound is taking a dip. He's getting to the line less. So I think 64 is just too high there. And the last too high. No, excuse me. I got a couple more too highs. This one to hurt my feelings, though. I'm tough, but I'm fair. Number 34, De'Aaron Fox. Okay? I think he can get there. He's not there yet. Like they got him ahead of Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton made 2 All-Star teams, a better defender, a 50-40-90 shooter. So De'Aaron, he's got some things to show, like defensively. The 3-point shot's got to be consistent to be like top 30, 35. But I definitely think he can get there. And the last too high, he was too high last year. And I hate it because I like this guy. They got C.J. McCollum at 27. At 27. C.J. McCollum was 13th in this list last year. He was 13th last year. Like, he didn't sniff an All-Star game. Not a knock. And he's the 27th best. Like, Drew Holiday is 33. Ja Morant, 31 for this upcoming year. CJ at 27 seemed a little high. And for the just rights, the 5 just right, and this one kind of hurt too. 48, Kemba Walker. Because I do like Kemba. But it's tough. It's a tough scene for a guy coming off the first year of a max deal at his age with his injury issues and his size. And I get why they did it. I get why they signed him. But I do wonder if they're going to regret it if that was like their last bullet to fire, right? They had to make one more move, replace Kyrie before it was time before Brown and Tatum's deals kicked in. I think Smart's up next. So I do wonder if that's their last bullet fired, if they'll regret it. Just for those things, like he's not an elite facilitator. They can upgrade his defense elsewhere. The knee issues sound like they're not going away. And I think you could just make up his shot creation without that $35 million salary attached to him. But at the same time, he's 20, 22 a game, an all-star. That's why I was like, I couldn't drop him too low. But for this upcoming year, yeah, maybe that's about right. 32, another one just right, another Celtic, Jaylen Brown. Like that, I was like, that feels right. I think he's primed for like another leap. He was 51 last year, ranked 51 last year. Then he shot better from everywhere, got to the line more, rebounded and assists more, was defending number 1 and number 2 options. So who's to say next year he don't jump to all-star, maybe second team all defense or something. 29, Trae Young. He was 28th last year. He started the all-star game, and he's 29th this year. And I can't really argue it. Right? We know the good. What's next? Like, what's next? Like, the defense, clearly. But honestly, I think it's shot selection and even facilitating. Because he's really a extremely good passer. So I think those are the next 2. And bumping up that horrible defense. 23 on the list. Cat, Karl-Anthony Towns. Again, I love him too. But we've seen the numbers. Right, we see you did the 25 and 10 and hit 40% of threes and all that, and like I don't think down on anybody on that team or anything for like the way the Jimmy Butler thing happened, but it's just that you can't do those type of numbers and lose 15 straight games. You know what I'm saying? And I honestly, I don't know if that happens to a single player ahead of him on that list. Like regardless of your teammates, regardless. Right, it's just like, yeah, now I played my best and we lost 15 straight games. Again, you think Russell Westbrook gonna be like, we losing 15 straight? No, I will take every shot in this motherfucker. We will not lose 15 straight games. So, Cat, because the talent he's there. And 16, another almost similar case, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is 16 right now, ranked 16th, and he's at a point where it's like I think he's impacting the game as much as he can without being like a 3-point threat or a threat off the dribble. And it's a testament to how good he is at the other things, like defense, rebounding, tremendous passer. But it's also a testament to what he's going to have to do to break into that top 15 tier. Like this is the slimmest pickings now. We got to split hairs. I had two more. I had the guy I think will take the biggest jump next year from outside the top 50. And it was a guy I said earlier, I think it's Ayton, man. I really do. I could see like a 15 to 20 spot jump. Like he's got the number one pedigree. Right? Like he's not coming out of nowhere. He has got somebody to take the heat off in Booker. He has a point guard that knows how to get him the ball. He is a freak athlete who has had like 2 years of NBA conditioning, weightlifting, all that. And he's improved tremendously defensively from year 1 to year 2. So let's see from year 2 to year 3. Because I could see him in the 30ish range next year. I don't think that would be crazy. And the biggest fall, I think, for a guy from somebody inside the top 50, I got Kyle Lowry, man. I got Kyle Lowry. They got him at 30. But he's ranked 30. He's about to turn 35 years old. He's durable, but he's never been like Mr. 82 games. And he'll be an effective player until he retires. I'm not saying that, but this is the last year of that big deal. And Father Time undefeated, man. It's going to hit 1 year. But the thing about Kyle Lowry, next year, if he just decides to start playing like minimum or for lesser deals, he'll be able to like make an impact for years. For years. So, close this out. ESPN they finally dropped the top 10. They had Doncic 4th, which it's high, but again, I get it. They want the clicks. My top 10, this is again only my top 10 for only this season. For only this upcoming season, 2020, 2021. And I feel like it's less drama at the top now. Like you used to go from 10 to 1 to see who is 1. Now you know who's 1. 1 is LeBron. Okay, he's 1 in mine. He was 1 in the ESPN one. It is what it is. 2, ESPN had AD, which I liked. I liked it a lot. But number 2 this year, I've got Kawhi. I got Kawhi Leonard. He's still that guy, and he still comes back every year with something different in the bag. So it was a bad showing this year. Let's see how you bounce back. 3, I've got Giannis for similar reasons. Let's see what you got. 4, I've got AD. 5, I've got Steph. 6, I've got Luka. 7, I've got Jokic. 8, I've got Harden. 9, I've got Dame. 10, I've got KD. Now ESPN had KD 6. KD's 10 here for me. It's only injury. It's only injury because if he plays like 10 games, it's like, oh, he's up to his old tricks again. He is jumping at least 5 of these guys. He's like bumped right into the top 5. And where he shakes out after that, we'll see. But for now, I got him 10. I feel like I can't, in good faith, drop him any lower, knowing he's going to be playing this year. But I can't put him higher just yet. So that was my ESPN Top 100. All right, and now we will jump into some questions for the week. The first question is, need to hear Trilly's take on this. And the this in question is a caller on WFAN, a New York sports radio station, it appears. Caller on WFAN just now suggested the MLB make a rule that if a fan catches a foul ball on a fly, it should be considered an out. The crowd would go nuts. Man, you know what? I don't even hate that. I listened to the clip. They told Buddy he was nuts. I said, hey, that's provocative, and it gets the people going. Like, the crowd would go nuts. I'm fine with that. I'll take you one further, W fan. If you catch the ball in the stands and you throw the runner out at home, your team wins the game. But, gotta be fair, always fair. If the fan goes to catch it and drops the ball, the hitter gets to go automatically to second. That's a double. And every single runner on base scores. Every single runner on base scores. So I want to see some, like, we're going to make it worth it. We're going to raise the stakes. Let's raise them. I want some situational awareness in the stands, right? Like the ball's hit right at you. But if it's not a clean catch, it might clear the bases. You know what I'm saying? Is it even worth it? Is it even really worth it? So I'm in on that. You could even do it seventh inning stretch. But hey, the seventh inning, if a fan catch a foul ball, is out. But you gotta, if you don't double them up and throw them out at home, you gotta leave. And they throw a beer on your head and they say boo, is what they say. But I like it. Next question. About the Malik Beasley situation. Someone requested a read through of the Malik Beasley letter, so we'll pull that up for this week of Trilly Reads. And if you're unfamiliar, Malik Beasley plays for the the Minnesota Timberwolves. Just signed a new deal. He was seen out and about holding hands with Larsa Pippen, of Scottie Pippen, like the same. That's, I won't say like her only worth is being known as his wife. But when you like, is that the same Pippen? The same Pippins, the same damn Pippins. So they were caught out and about, gallivanting, holding hands, matriculating through the mall. And the thing about that is, they're both married as hell. Malik Beasley has a beautiful wife and child. And Larsa Pippen, which I didn't know, she is still married to Scottie. So the math ain't math in there to me, man. Somebody want to be paparazzi, and I ain't deciding who. How the camera always show up unless they know where you gonna be. I seen it was a camera of Larsa Pippen walking back home to Scottie's house. I seen it was one, like, it's just one of her being everywhere. And it's like, how they know where you gonna be, right? Is she that? Everybody wearing masks, you know what I'm saying? But oh my God, that's Larsa Pippen's eyes. Nobody know this shit. But I'll also say this before I read the letter. I feel really bad for Scottie Pippen Jr. Not even kidding. Like, he's been through enough, man. His name's Scottie Pippen Jr. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ever had that type of anguish in your life? No. Unless Scottie Pippen Jr. is listening to this. But I just honestly, people getting the jokes off. He's on the Summer Jam screen. He's getting heated up right now. And it's for stuff that he really doesn't have anything to do with. So I do feel bad for him, right? Like, whatever issues between his parents are between his parents. And whatever his mother's doing, holding hands, that's on him. That shouldn't be, brought to his mentions. But it will be. They're going to say it at games and all this stuff. So credit to him. He just tweeted. He was like, hey, man, I'm working on me. What other people doing ain't really my business. So salute to Scottie Pippen Jr. I know you listen. And Scottie Pippen Jr. Keep your head up, man. Like, seriously. Just keep grinding. Focus on you. Keep grinding. But I do got to read this letter, my guy. Because Malik Beasley is a maniac. So this is an email that he sent to a woman named Alina, I think. A separate woman he's messing with. Another woman who's not his wife. Malik Beasley is the worst at this. He sent it from Malik Beasley. Like, strike one, you're bad at this, Malik. But this was October 28th, 2020, to Alina Vega, Alina 05 Vega. From this point on, the words will be Malik Beasley. Mi amor. What's up, beautiful? Sorry it took so long to actually send this message. I wanted to make sure everything was worded right. Look, I'm just going to tell you the truth. My baby mama's in my life, and we have love through the fact that we have a son. She is the mother of my child, and I'll always respect her and put her first, because if I die, she's going to be the one watching him. Probably the same with you. If me and you had a little Alina running around in 10 years, that would be what it would be. Right now, we just planting a seed, and we're going to see where that goes. I don't know exactly, but I do know you working at DTC for a reason. To pay bills and do what you need to do. It shows you are a strong woman. I want to know your needs. I want to talk late with you. I want you to watch me play. etc. If you let me, I can take care of you monthly, if you know what I mean. What I want is to smoke with you, be inside you, laugh with you, get crazy with you. I want to send you flowers. I want to help your daughter. If you need another phone to talk to me, I'll do that. Just whatever has to be done. I don't want you to lose your daughter, and I don't want to lose my son. We're just focusing on me and you, but still desire our needs. I real deal don't want you working there anymore. I want you to myself, besides you know who. But if you could do that, you could focus more and not worry about other shit. That's what I'm looking for. If you don't want to be involved, that's fine. But know I care about you. You will forever have a secret admirer. Poppy. That's the end of the letter. This is a married man, you understand. What if I don't like sending emails now, and I don't make $20 million a year playing for the Timberwolves. Not anymore. There's a lot wrong. There's a lot of typos here. I ain't saying nothing about that because I can't spell either. But I do think the funniest part of this was after he wrote that letter, he's like, hey, just know that you'll forever have a secret admirer. Nigga, what do you mean? You just wrote to her with your social security. There's nothing secret about this. Yeah, this man, my boy going through it, man. He said, we just trying to have some fun. I want to help you pay your bills. I could buy you a phone. I don't want you to lose your kid. I don't want to lose mine. He's like, the only reason he's like my baby mama. Technically true. AKA wife. He's like, really the only reason, you know what I'm saying, she's still around? Because if I die, I need someone to take care of him. That's really the only reason why I fuck with her. But yeah, Malik Beasley's a madman. I don't know what ended up happening with that. I can't wait to see what next. Like, we haven't heard the last of Larsa Pippen, is what I'm saying. Like, she's going to be out with somebody else. We're going to hear this again. And I'm not looking forward to it. But I am looking forward to Malik Beasley sending more emails. I like that. Right, our next question comes from Jim Jam 9000. Jim Jam has a two-parter, an unrelated two-parter. But one, more Jerry Rice talk because he's earned it. And two, what do you think the coolest thing a rapper has either said or done? Let me answer the second part first because that's quicker. The coolest thing a rapper has ever done is Cameron getting shot and driving himself to the emergency room. That's the coolest shit a rapper has ever done. And it's even better, like they was asking Cam, the news was talking to him after he got released from the hospital. And they were like, Cam, what happened? He was like, they said, get out of the car, fool. I said, fuck out of here, and drove off. And they shot Cam in both arms, bro. That's a tough scene. You get shot in both arms. And he drove himself to the ER. And when he got released, he plugged his album that was coming out like the next month. And he said the robbers were sloppy because he still had his car and all his jewelry. That's the coolest thing a rapper's ever done. Now, for Jerry Rice, this old fogey, this came about early this week. ESPN did a story. And it's one of those, it was a hate click. I don't hate click a lot of stuff. Not even that hate click. It was just, I knew what kind of, it was a cap click. Cap click, there we go. I just knew the cap levels was going to be off the damn chart. Because the article is titled, Bad Memories. Why Jerry Rice Forgot His 289-yard game on Monday Night Football. And the reason I know it's cap is because Jerry Rice has never forgotten a single catch game he's ever played in. So I clicked this article. ESPN by Nick Wagner. This is how it starts, and I was immediately vindicated. Justified in my there's not even, I don't hate Jerry Rice. I just see through it, man. I just see through the facade. The article starts, Jerry Rice reaches over his desk, grabs a black hat with GOAT emblazoned on the front in white letters, pulls the hat down just above his eyebrows and sits back in his black leather office chair. Now the Hall of Famer is ready to discuss his greatest performance. Okay, and right then and there, Again, Jerry Rice has never forgotten a single catch he's ever made. Right? He had a Hall of Fame career, right? Nothing wrong with, I don't have any problem, right? You could talk your shit and Everybody knows how nice you was. You know what I'm saying? But when you make it a point to wear the GOAT hat and GOAT stuff and got a GOAT tattoo and running routes at the man, oh man, he's like, please think I'm as good as I think I am. Please, I am begging you guys. And again, normally crippling insecurity would have me the biggest Jerry Rice fan, man. We peas in a pod. But because I just ain't buying it. He's the most accomplished wide receiver of all time, no question. He ain't my GOAT though. And so within that story, let me read another story about the year that Jerry Rice and Deion played. So I don't know if it's fake deep dive, fake not, but Jim Jam wanted some Jerry Rice talk. I got a little Jerry Rice talk for you, Bubba. So there's I think it was NFL Life, like a 10-minute video. I'm not even sure if it's like that's the only video or if it's from like a bigger show. But Deion, of course, went from the Falcons to the 49ers, signed a 1-year deal. All right, 1-year deal. Jerry Rice was mad that Deion Sanders partied his 1 year in San Francisco. Now, the year that Deion was in San Francisco, he made the Pro Bowl. He made first team All-Pro. He won Defensive Player of the Year. The 2 years prior to joining the 49ers, he was first team All-Pro. So Deion knew what he was doing. He just wasn't doing it Jerry's way. And in the video, Jerry's like, I didn't know if he was going to do it the 49er way. Oh, God. But in this, there's a video. Because I was watching some of the video from the 289-yard game. And in pretty much any game, the guy that covered him in that game was playing like CFL wide receiver the year before. I'm not making that up. That was in the article. And so I'm watching the video of the Deion Jerry Rice. And when they whooped the Broncos in the Super Bowl, they've been like, I think 55-10, like killed them. The good cornerbacks was on the other side of the field from Jerry Rice, man. Jerry Rice legit scored a touchdown. He was covered by somebody wearing number 77, man. Like a defensive lineman, not like a cool cornerback trying to wear. Again, you can't. You know what I'm saying? This guy was wearing 77 and Jerry Rice scored a touchdown. Salute. DeAndre Hopkins caught a pass on Michael Brockers. Salute. So, back to the video. The Cowboys had beat the 49ers in the NFC Championship twice in a row. 12th round pick Larry Brown is on tape saying he owns Jerry Rice. He said, I own Jerry Rice. Alvin Harper, wide receiver, he said, I'm the real 80. He said the other 80, he said the guy on the other side, like the other sideline, he said he faking, he a crybaby. That ain't my GOAT. So, Deion signed. Rice didn't know if he'd come do it the 49er way. And again, respectfully, Jerry, the 49er way had Larry Brown and Alvin Harper talking y'all shit. You know what I'm saying? Clowning y'all. You might need to try somebody else. Like, did Deion bring that Falcons way? Can we try it the Giants way or something? Because the 49ers way, you know what I mean? But he said Deion had a lot of baggage coming in. Deion was out on the town. The Super Bowl was in Miami, so of course Deion was out on the town. And they talked to like teammates, Ricky Waters, a couple guys gave like their perspective. And it was like Jerry Rice confronted Deion because Deion went out to party the Wednesday night of the Super Bowl week. The Wednesday. And Deion is in the video. He said himself, he's like, listen, if I was out Saturday before the Super Bowl, that's crazy. Wednesday, prime time got to have a little time. You know what I'm saying? That's just how Deion worked. And again, if you win a defensive player of the year, like if he went out every single Wednesday that year and won defensive player of the year, I'd be on his head if he didn't go out Wednesday. I'm like, you better go get that damn margarita you drink every Wednesday at 4:58 or whatever your routine is, prime time. Please go get that beverage. So Rice confronted him because he went out, and they talked to other people on the team. People were like, hey, listen, the team was 2 tenths. We had championship expectations, lost in the conference championship to the same team 2 years in a row. The team was 2 tenths. We were 2 tenths. We were too uptight. And there's like a scene of Jerry Rice, like, I don't know, doing some fake practice hard shit. And it cuts to Deion, and Deion is like rolling a football like a bowling ball. Then the other guy picks it up and throws it like home plate and puts the tag on, and like the whole team is just busting up laughing, and Jerry Rice is over there like just seething. So the team, they're like, yeah, Deion helped lighten the mood. Like, we needed that. And Deion was like, me going out, that's not a story. He said, I had a Lambo delivered to the hotel in front of the team. That's a story. He said, I knew it was going to win. And so I went back and checked. I was like, was he just saying this right? Like, we had a good team who was going to win. No. San Francisco going into the game was favored by 18.5 over the Chargers. 18.5. And they won that game by 23. So Deion was right. So I say all that to say I just ain't buying what Jerry Rice selling, man. He want that. He want the Paul Pierce, man. They don't love you like that. You thought you was Randy? You want that farewell tour? They don't love you like that. So, no. Most accomplished receiver? For sure. The best? Nah. Not with Larry Brown talking about he owned this, man. That's tough, man. And this wasn't 42-year-old Rice, too. This was early 90s Rice. And a 12th round pick. To win Super Bowl MVP and get overpaid by somebody was like, nah, I own that guy. So, I hope that fit the bill this week, Jim Jam. I'll probably be back to slander Jerry Rice in a week or two. Our next question is, on the anniversary of the Miami Miracle, would you be able to break down the play as it happens? Yes. Yes, I can. I would be able to do that. So, the Miami Miracle was 2 years ago this week when the 6-6 Dolphins, down 33-28, 7 seconds left on their 30-yard line, do the lateral play, and it works. Because Rob Gronkowski is in at safety. So, we will start here with the NFL's footage. It is 1 minute, 19 seconds. And we will just talk through it. Just see what we see. I think the good thing, I'm almost certain it's Ian Eagle on this call, which he's just great. He's made for these calls. So, let's do it. Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill. Remember that? Takes the snap. They rush 3. Quarterback spy. Love it. Quick catch. Pitch. Another pitch. Okay, at this point, I'm just going to stop it right here. This is where, 32 has the ball here. He's at the 40-yard line, right? Like, they covered, I think the thing I didn't realize till maybe even just now, they covered like 15, 20 yards that first pass. Like, that's it right there. The immediate pitch, the second immediate pitch. That was the good play. Now 32's got it. He's at about the 40, but he ends up scoring. Because at this point, if you just watch any of the Patriots, which is so hard for me because I only like to watch Rob Gronkowski on this play. But it's not even like they're not worried about blocks in the back. 32's just weaving a little bit. And he gets to Rob Gronkowski. Now listen. Here's what's funny about Gronkowski didn't have the angle. I'm just rewinding this over and over again because Gronk falling down is hilarious. Gronk was at the 15. This play started at the other 30. Okay. He had about 50, 55, maybe 60 yards if he moved in. What you mean he didn't have the angle? He only had the angle. His hips are just set in concrete. Because if you see, like, once Gronk realizes, like, 32's coming his way, it's like, uh-oh. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you see a deer and it's like, okay, he'll probably pass. He's not going to pass. He's not going to pass. No. And that boy Gronk, I don't even know what he died for, man. I don't even know why Gronk was out there, bro. Again, this was 2 years ago. If you tell me you put, honestly, I was going to say 23-year-old Gronk, like a better athlete, but he still always had the bad back. I ain't risking this. And they put old ass, what was he supposed to do? Knock down the pass? Like, lay a hit stick on somebody. He ain't within 5 yards of 32 until 32 run right past him. Until he run right past him. So I just cannot believe. Here we go. Does somebody's GOAT put Rob Gronkowski in? It's a bit extreme. Ian. Showing the play here again. So they had, 4 receivers run down. First one catches it. Bam. Hits to the second. Bam. Pitches to the third. That's 32. He's the one that ends up scoring. He's holding it with one hand. Anytime somebody running the ball with one hand, you know they're pretty confident about their skills. And once he sees Gronk one-on-one, that was lunch meat. Lunch meat. He was already planning to throw that ball up into the stands. Because lunch meat. I don't know why Gronk was in there. But that's the breakdown. It ain't a whole lot to it. It's just feel like horrible decision after horrible decision. Mostly Rob Gronkowski being your last line of defense. So, next question is from the homie Grum. Grum says, and this was a different one. I like this one, Grum. Who are your top 5 Muppets? Muppets? Y'all call them Muppets or Muppets? Top 5 Muppets, like the Jim Henson ones, he says, not the ones who have ran the Knicks for the last 20 years. I'm glad you asked that, Grum. These are in no order except for number 1. With 5 through 2, no order. 5, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. Right? He named after Bunsen. You get it? That's science stuff, right? Like once I learned what like a Bunsen and a beaker were, I was like, oh my God. These guys are genius. He's named after a Bunsen. And his head is the shape and color of a honeydew melon. His name is Bunsen Honeydew. And he wears glasses, but he doesn't have any eyes. What's not to love, man? What's not to love? 4, you can't overlook the classics just because they the classic. Kermit, man. Kermit's given us so much. The memes, the songs. Kermit is a, like, face recognition, one name recognition. He's that dude. Kermit's here. Number 3, give me Fozzie Bear, man. Give me a failed stand-up comedian Fozzie Bear. They used to just set Fozzie up for it, man. They said Fozzie, why don't you wear shoes, Fozzie? And Fozzie said, why should I? I'd still have bare feet. Waka waka waka. So Fozzie's 3. Animal is number 2. Mostly for a hit song, Mana Mana. And the Quiet as It's Kept. The Muppet soundtrack, some fire. The Muppet Show theme. It's time to something, something. Boom, boom, boom. That's it. That's fire. It Ain't Easy Being Green's a banger. Phenomena, the aforementioned Phenomena, banger. But number 1, my favorite characters on that show, but they're a package deal. Statler and Waldorf. The 2 old men in the audience, like in the balcony, just heckling. Those are 2 of my favorite characters in anything. Because they would just let anybody have it, man. I think my favorite thing they did, they were like, boo, boo, that was terrible. That was awful. I didn't mind it that much. Really? No, I thought it was decent. It was okay. It wasn't bad. Yay! Bravo! Yay! They just flipped the script, man. And another, I don't know who said it to who, but I was just reading some of their quotes, and this one made me laugh. Waldorf said, I wish Gene Kelly would teach me to Charleston. Statler said, I wish Gene Kelly would drive you to Charleston. Fucking got his ass, man. So, yeah, give me Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, give me Kermit, give me Fozzie Bear, give me Animal, and give me Statler and Waldorf. The legends. Our next question is from King JTR. JTR says, might be more of a deep dive, but has there ever been a football player cooler than Reggie Bush at USC? That's a good one, JTR. Because, like, winning the Heisman and losing the Heisman, and taking lots of money and dating Kim Kardashian, like, as a college student. Like, imagine you tell your friends, like, you got to go get out of, I don't know, comm class. I got to go have some lunch with Kim Kardashian at the student center. I feel like Reggie's probably the most influential. I think a lot of guys in college, like, date Instagram models now. Like, PJ Washington that went to Kentucky. Brittany Renner was coming to his games like freshman year, I think. Like, that ain't... Reggie might have been the innovator. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the coolest? the coolest, I got to go with Bo Jackson, man. I got to go with Bo, JTR. Because, and I went back to make sure like all the stories wasn't lies. Like high school Bo Jackson, his senior year, he rushed for 1,200 yards. He had 25 home runs, which I think was like the legit either the state or national record at the time. And he won the state decathlon twice in high school. The cool thing about winning the decathlon twice is that Bo Jackson hated long distance. Like the last, or one of the last ones, like the 1,500 meter, I think, run. He hated long distance so much, he got so far ahead in every other event that he didn't have to run the 1,500, and he still won. Both times. Both times. In high school, he got drafted by the Yankees. Got drafted by the Yankees, who were coming off, like they had won a World Series a couple years before, had just won the AL pennant the year before, drafted him in the second round, not even like the 15th round. Let's see, they drafted him in the second round, and he said no. He said he told his mom he was going to be the first person in their family to go to a major college, and he did it. He did it by going to Auburn. And, like, again, we ain't even got to college yet. We ain't even got to college yet. Like, he was dominating at football, doing well in baseball, and the Buccaneers owner flew him down to Tampa for a private workout. Told him that, oh, no, this has been cleared by the NFL. You're good. It's no trouble. There was trouble. He was declared ineligible. He missed a good bit of his senior year, the baseball season, and he was pissed. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. So he said, I will never play for the Buccaneers. I will never play for the Buccaneers. He just made that up. And again, while he was playing football and baseball, he was still running track in college and doing well. Like, he could have had, like, legit, he was like, I could have had a career there, but it wasn't enough money. And I didn't have enough time to train for baseball and also football, because football was his off-season hobby, as he's mentioned. And so he dominates in college, football and baseball, gets drafted number 1 overall pick by who? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Right, so how easy for them to be, okay, he's saying all this, we're drafted number 1. He'll report. We'll put the money in his face and he'll sign and it'll be great. Bo Jackson said, fuck you. I'm not playing for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and did not report. Did not report. They lost the first pick of the first round for nothing because he told them he wasn't going to come. They drafted him anyway, and true to his word, he did not come. So give me Bo, man. I don't know if you're talking like only Reggie, like college, because again, Bo should probably get much cooler in the NFL. But give me Bo Jackson, man. Just give me Bo. Our next question is, what are your levels of optimism on the NBA season? Do they make it all the way through? The MLB and NFL tried to make it without a bubble, and the results have been suboptimal at best. I do think they make it through the bubble or through the season, and not because it's the right idea or because it's what should be done or because they won't have, positive tests or because they should for the positive spirit of this nation with what we're going through. But they'll start it and they'll go through with it and they'll finish it because we see how much money it is. That's all it comes down to. We see how much money it is. They'll finish. And the results being, suboptimal, that really depends on who you ask, right? I haven't watched as much. What I've seen hasn't really been good football this year. But if you ask the NFL, you ask Adam Schefter on Sunday when he's sending out that tweet about how they had 147 positive tests, Des Bryant died before kickoff, and they still didn't cancel the game. So the NFL is having a ball right now. Like college football falling apart at the seams. They're limping to the finish line. College basketball started out of the gate strong. Like Kentucky's 2 first games had to be like moved around because like contact tracing through COVID. So I'm optimistic that they will finish it. I am also very optimistic that they should not finish it. I will say this. I don't know for the playoffs. I don't know if they can sell guys on another bubble, man. I mean, they will. They will sell them on it. But it'll be a tough sell, right? Like, especially if you were in that last year for 80, 90, 100 days and got to go back into it again, especially depending on who knows how the season's going to go. But they'll finish. There's not a doubt in my mind that they'll finish. Next question says, so we were talking about the James Harden trade situation in the basketball Discord channel, and I equated his situation, disgruntled MVP caliber player wanting out, to a group of CP3 in New Orleans, Kawhi in San Antonio, and Kyrie in Cleveland. Going back the last 20 years, which player probably regrets wanting out and getting traded? Not a lot come to. I feel like for the most part it works out. The one that came to mind, and I don't think he would regret it, was Melo to New York. Melo to New York immediately came to mind because it was like, listen, if you just wait, he'll sign there. You don't have to give up anything. And he was like, no, I want to go now. And I think he'd do it again. So I guess I can't say that he probably regrets it. I thought Chris Webber, a little further than 20 years, but he came to mind too. He was like Rookie of the Year, All-Star, #1 overall pick. And he played on 3 teams by the time he was 25. Like the Kings were the 3rd team, so it worked out. But the Warriors, Wizards, boy, those first 2, he got to be thinking like, man, what did I do wrong? So he might have had some regret. Boogie, DeMarcus Cousins, also came to mind a little bit because it was like he wanted to get out of Sacramento, and then he got to New Orleans, and he had some success, but then he got hurt. So it's like I don't know if it's fair to say he regrets it off that. Like I shouldn't have gotten hurt because it was going great while he was healthy. So those were the 3 that immediately came to mind. But I honestly feel like a good bit of these guys, they're like, no, I made the right choice. I did what I had to do, what I was supposed to do. Next question is, what are some of your least favorite songs from your favorite artist? Like, what are some just absolute duds your favorites release to no avail? Again, the first one to come to mind, it was not even because either of these guys are my favorite, but I did enjoy them at one time. And it was an unlikely collaboration. And I remember seeing it on the album or like the track listing. I was like, huh, okay. And the song was Touchdown by T.I. and Eminem. It's the worst song I've ever heard by 2 artists that I like. It's the worst song I've ever heard. Maybe in general. But definitely by 2 guys that I liked at the time. I was just so let down, man. The beat stink, you hear the horns, I was like, oh boy, Eminem made this beat, didn't he? Oh, brother. The Ha remix. Like a lot of people haven't heard the Ha remix by Juvie and Jay-Z, but that's Jay-Z's worst verse ever. I Know What Girls Like is a full song by Jay-Z, horrendous song. And I've called flack for this. I don't mind Sup Mate by Future and Thug. I don't like that song. I like other songs that they make together. I don't like that one. So Touchdown, Ha remix is the worst verse I've heard maybe ever. But I Know What Girls Like and Sup Mate by Future and Thug. Next question is, since we were talking shoes in the Close Personal Friends chat, the Discord, let's talk some of your personal favorites. I want to hear favorite Jordans, number and colorway, what you wear daily, pre-pandemic, and any pairs you really like that you want to talk about. So favorite Jordans, ones. I feel like the more time goes, the more I like ones. Right? Like I liked them, you know what I'm saying? But as they go on, and it's not even that they drop them in every single color ever. It's just realizing that you created a shoe in 1984, 85, whatever. That 35 plus years later, you can like, yeah, the red was on the toe this time. Okay, let's make the toe black. Okay. Let's make the toe red and black. And it works because it's just a beautiful, beautiful silhouette of a shoe. So ones are up there. Eights are a personal favorite. Like the high top, the crisscrossing straps. I just feel like there's so many good colorways of those. 10s, 11s, 12s. It's probably my top 5. I think like 10, 11, 12. That boy Tinker Hatfield he was in a bag inside a bag on 10s, 11, 12. Those are just beautiful shoes to me. Let's see. Part of the question said number and colorway. My favorite, probably number and colorway. I don't even know if it's real. But I had a pair of 8s on 2K, as fast 2K. But my guy was on Miami, so when you put him in Miami, the Vice uniforms, it's 8s in the Miami Vice shits. Like, it's mostly black, but it's got like the blue and pink details. A beautiful, beautiful shoe. I had them in the stream one day, and even there's people in the stream that dislike everything I do. I was like, come on, you got to give me something on them shoes. And they were like, yeah, them bitches cold. Fuck you, though. So it was, we can all put our differences aside for a nice shoe. Shoes I wear daily pre-pandemic. I'm going to be honest with you, man. The shoes I wore daily pre-pandemic are the same shoes I wear daily post-pandemic. Right? Like this, y'all new to this. I'm true to this, man. I ain't left my house for a job since 2015. And that may sound like a flex, but understand no, excuse me, 2014. Some of that part was unemployed. 2 different stints of unemployment. So it's not the flex it seems. But yeah, the shoes I wear is just the shoes I wear. And my shoe of the day now, my daily shoe is the one that is closest to me when I need to go outside. Like whichever one is physically like closest to me, I'll put them on. Mostly my pandemic shoes I got a gray pair of Nike sock darts, and those are my go-tos. Like, you just slip them on, ain't no lace, ain't no nothing. They basically feel like socks with a hard bottom sole, which is what I need, the type of comfort I need in these trying times. So those are my daily shoes. And any pairs I really like that I want to talk about, 2. I got 2. One, I got a pair of the Paul George, the NASA joints, the orange and blue. I saw them, I was like, those are gorgeous. Bought them immediately. And they're still in my closet. I've never worn them. I got them from StockX. They still got like the StockX tag on them. I'm waiting for the price to go up. I'm waiting for like Paul George to either win Finals MVP or die. I prefer Finals MVP, but a sale's a sale, PG. No, but I've got those, and there is a pair of shoes. I think that's part of my white well of shoes. There is an old shoe. I'm trying to see if I can even still find it. Yeah. It's called the Nike predecessor. Nike Air predecessor, Air Nike predecessor. And it don't look like much. It's like a gray shoe, white check. And we used to sell them at the shoe store I worked in. One of the most comfortable shoes. Like, that shoe had no reason being that comfortable. No reason being that comfortable. And I have not been able to find a pair. Like, I don't know if they just wasn't hot like that, if they were just a local thing. It was one of those I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a pair when I get paid. And when I got paid, they didn't have my size anymore. And I was like, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? As soon as we get them back in, I'm setting it, like, I'll immediately buy it. I'll buy it off the truck. Never came back in. So that's probably my white whale. Those would easily be my daily pandemic shoes. But if anybody want these Paul Georges for NASA, I'll be checking the StockX price. They be going up and down. I need Paul to ball this year so I can move these shits. I just don't really want them anymore. Next question. I had multiple variations of this question. Thanks, A. Humps, for submitting your variation. This is not your variation. It was too vulgar to read. But the question is, how do you feel about your Kentucky Baby Boys this year? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. They stink. That's how I feel about them. Now, I love them. I've watched every game. I'm going to watch every game. But they stink. We can't too much dribble right now. Dribbling's not great. Passing is a work in progress. Shooting, asking for kind of a lot. So we don't really have the grasp on those 3 things. And our defensive effort comes and goes. I'll say this. For a team like 3, 4, 5 games, whatever, into the season with this many newcomers, this has the potential to be a really good defensive team. And I don't just mean like everybody's got long arms, but it's like the way they were doing some things like early on. Like even in the midst when they like don't score for 20 minutes straight, It's like, listen, like we're not down by 100 points because defense kept us in it. So I do think defensively they have a chance to be really good. Like if we go anywhere, do anything, it's going to be like elite defense, just enough offense. But yeah, they stink right now. I'm not really worried about, like, this is just kind of how Cal's teams go. You know what I'm saying? Like in a regular season. And I think we get 11 newcomers because of, you know what I'm saying, COVID and the lockdowns. They didn't have the normal on-court time together that they would normally have going into a new season. And I do think the pieces are there to be a good team. Like title winning team, I don't know. But whoever knows, dude. Like Kentucky stunk a portion last year. And by the end of the year, I was like, no, listen, they canceled that tournament specifically to stop us from cutting down the nets. So who knows? I do think the pieces are there, though. So again, I'm really not worried. Like they're not good now, but for long term. And it's why, like if you are a Kentucky or a Cal fan and you're watching and judging off like literally the first 3-4 months, or excuse me, first 3-4 games of the season, man, you shouldn't be a Kentucky or Cal fan. Like that's just how this go. They worked themselves into shape. They're just about always better at the end than the beginning. Now to varying levels, of course, but they pretty much always put it together by some points. Like, oh, they've won 6 straight in the SEC. Are they putting it together? No, lost to Ole Miss, and then they win like 6 straight. At like it'll come. And the pieces are like Olivier Sarr, the center that transferred in. He's good. He's a good offensive center. Isaiah Jackson is another big. He's a freshman. He is like a defense. He rebounds and blocks like 8 shots a game and does crazy dunks. Like I legit, if he's willing to play that role, and I think he is, I Jonathan Isaac type. Like that's the not exactly play style, but just in terms of like, oh, like if that guy, if he's only gonna commit to just being a monster of a defender, block shots, rebounds, run the floor, all that, he's gonna be a really good player. And I saw today, it was one of those like anonymous coach reports. It's like the reason that Kentucky has hope, or transfer hope, is because Olivier Sarr and Isaiah Jackson have been playing together and they can't play together because of spacing. And I say, newsflash, we don't have spacing regardless. Nobody on this team can shoot. You understand? So nice try. Nice try. This team, I think, is still shooting 25% as a whole from 3. So we can't be picky there. They're the 2 best front court players. They're going to play a lot. They're going to play a lot together. And I think they should, in theory, I think they're pretty good complements. Like Sarr, he's not quite a 3-point threat, but he can hit a jumper. And Isaiah Jackson is, again, a beast inside defensively. A little thin, but he's 19. It happens. So we can't be picky there. We just have to play the 2 best players. Like, it's not like if you sit one of those guys down, we get to put in 03 Dirk Nowitzki, and now we have spacing. No, we don't have spacing regardless. We just have to play the best players. Keon Brooks, the lone returner from last year, has not played yet due to an injury. So I've got reasonably high hopes for him. Like, we've had guys last year, Emmanuel Quickly, year before, PJ Washington, guys that their first year just didn't fit the bill for what I guess we were told they were going to be. And they came back second year. PJ turned into lottery pick. IQ turned into conference player of the year, first round pick. So I got high hopes for Keon Brooks. He needs to get healthy. It's no reason to rush him back to lose to Georgia Tech. College basketball, like the regular season, literally means the least in any sport. In any sport at all. So I'm not worried about that. BJ Boston, he's the projected top 3 pick. He's like the guy of the freshmen. I haven't seen top 3 NBA draft pick yet, but the tools are there. The tools are there, so I'm not really worried about him. If I had one worry, it's we don't have a point guard. We do not have a point guard. And it'll probably end up being Davion Mintz, who transferred in, because he can dribble into his own shot. It's not necessarily going to go in, but he can dribble into it. And that's, if you look at the point guards on our roster, that'll set you apart. He's also the only person on the team with more assists than turnovers. I think that's still true. So he's point guard by default. I think that's ultimately going to be our starting lineup when everybody's healthy. And I think the other pieces fit around it. Like Devin Askew reclassified, basically skipped his senior year. He's been starting at point guard, playing 30 minutes a game, and he's just not ready. He's just not ready. He can contribute this year, but in fewer minutes, in a bench role, in an off-the-ball role, he's going to have to do it with some hustle, some transition. He's just not in a point right now to where he can run the offense for this team. He picks up his dribble like as soon as he crosses half court. Usually not a good sign. It's like a thing you don't realize how much that really just stops it feels like just like running into the line on first down every single time. It's like, oh my God. Like, you can overcome 2nd and 9, but God damn, like, you got to do it every single time. He does it every single time he crosses the court. He picks up his dribble. And he's got to pass, like somebody's got to come bail him out. That just puts your offense behind the 8 ball. So he can play. I do think he can play off the bench. Terrence Clark is starting now. Just from what I've seen, I think his ideal role could be off the bench. He's a scorer. He be taking kind of like the crazy, irrational confidence shots. I think his best role would be a bench scorer. Like, he just comes in and just leads the offense. Cam Fletcher and Lance Ware, I'm just not sure they're helping this early. I'm just not sure. They're kind of like Askew. Can they help, but not in the opportunities they've been given so far. But again, this is part of figuring out the rotation. The one guy I do think is just going to need more minutes is Dante Allen. Dante Allen he was like Mr. Kentucky basketball. His junior year, he averaged 31 and 12. His senior year, he averaged, I think, 45 and 14. He shot like 60% from the field, 40 from 3. And then I think, tore his ACL. He got hurt. So I think he needs more minutes. My biggest gripe with Cal, and I say this again as somebody who loves Cal, I want Cal to be Kentucky's coach forever. Like, I get the goods, I get the bads. It's way more goods than bads. But my biggest gripe with Cal is he consistently, like, he plays the athletes that can't shoot, and he's like, okay, if I play them long enough, they'll make a couple shots, and they don't. They don't make a couple shots. And we have guys that are shooters that need more time to learn how to do, like, the other stuff. Like the defense, the ball handling, the running in transition, knowing where to be. They need, like, you're going to learn that stuff, but the only way you learn that is through reps. Like, we had Michael Mulder. Michael Mulder started more games last year for the Golden State Warriors than he did in his 1 year at Kentucky. And was a good bench piece for he didn't play a whole lot of minutes, but started more games than he did at Kentucky because he could shoot, not do a whole lot else. Jamal Baker came in, was recruited as a shooter. He didn't get a whole lot of minutes, transferred, and I just saw he's with Arizona now. He scored 33 the other night, hit 7 threes. Very sick. Quade Green. Quade Green's another one. He came in 3 years ago. Played a year, first semester, then transferred to Washington. And he shot 45% from 3 last year for Washington. So that's my biggest gripe with Cal. And I think I'm just terrified that Dante Allen's going to fall into that. Like, Dante Allen, I firmly believe, I don't care if you're playing 1A high school ball. I don't care what state. If you're scoring like 45 and 14 a night senior year, you're going to find a way to control. Like, you just need some reps. If he only got to be a spot up shooter, if he only needs to be like one dribble and shoot, whatever, let him work through. Like, he had the rust from the injury. I would just let him work through all that. So that's probably my biggest gripe. That's honestly the one thing I'm really worried about for this team. I just think we're going to keep letting athletes run when we have shooters that, like, they're not going to hit every shot. But the athletes, boy, they don't be hitting any shot, like, down the stretch. So I'm ultimately not worried. But I will say this kind of along those lines. After year, I think it's been a decade now, like, I've seen enough, like, high 5-star, high 4-star recruits come in. And I've thought this for a while, but it's just getting stronger and stronger. There either needs to be more stars in recruiting, or there needs to be no stars in recruiting. Okay, like there should be 6-star, 7-star guys, or there should just be no stars. And I looked at rival. I just picked one. Rivals, I feel like, is a fairly like consensus one. Like people know of Rivals. I looked at their last 5 years of recruiting classes. Their last 5 years. So going back to, I guess, the class of 2016, high school now, 16, 17. Yeah. The last 5 years, every year, they have between 29 and 31 5-star guys. Every year. And again, I didn't go much further back. But that don't smell right to me. That just don't smell right to me. There's no way it's exactly 29, 30, or 31 guys, 5-star guys every year. I'm just not buying that. That don't fly over here. You know, one year you might have 30. Then you might have 40 in a good year. Like 2021 class supposed to be really good. Maybe it's 45-star guys. This past draft class was a weak one. Maybe it was 20 or 25. But 35-star guys every year, that lets me know. It's like, hey, I ain't saying it's like a quota, but there's just, I just watch it and see. Not only Kentucky. Like you can watch the Kansas, North Carolina, like all these guys. It's like, all right, these 5-stars these ain't the same. These ain't the same. And I say that it should probably just be no stars because I honestly think it hurts the kid more than anything. Like they walk into college with a ranking that they didn't make. And it is like they're reminded of it every single game they're in college. And I'll use Nick Richards as an example. Nick Richards just spent 3 years in Kentucky, got drafted by the Hornets. He was a 5-star guy, stayed 3 years. And again, now in the NBA, worked out in the long run. Hope he does well. But it was brought up every single game for 3 years that he was a 5-star guy. Most 5-star guys in Kentucky go pro early. He's still here. And they're like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's brought up every single game. And it's like, he was underwhelmed, but he was also like literally learning the game. Like Nick Richards, he's one of the late bloomer guys. He started basketball at 16. He came over from Jamaica, started like playing basketball seriously at 16, and was a 20-year-old freshman. Right? So from that draft class, he was 17th in the draft class. I just went like the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th of that draft class. 15th was PJ Washington. Again, we went over him. He stayed 2 years, lottery pick. He's in Charlotte. 16th recruit was Trae Young. One and done at Oklahoma. Top 5 or 6 pick. Start of the All-Star game. Number 17 recruit was Nick Richards. Stayed 3 years, just got drafted. And the number 18 recruit was Gary Trent Jr. Guy who was one and done. Didn't have a great one and done year. Fell to the second round. And now it looks like he's finding his footing. Like he had some really good showings for Portland in the bubble, in the playoffs. So that's where, to me, like looking at those 4 guys ranked together as high school seniors, PJ Washington, Trae Young, Nick Richards, Gary Trent Jr., and factoring in how much size dominates in high school. Like that's the one. I don't know if there's, I don't know if you can like calculate for that, or like if there's any formula to see just how intimidating size is in high school. And also, depending on where you at, you might be the only 6'11" guy. You might be going against other 6'11" guys who are not good. You might be going against like elite talent. You might be playing a Sierra Canyon, Oak Hill, whoever the big Monteverde in Florida. So it's just why it's like all those guys were 5-star. Because to me, it's like, okay, that means, again, it should be a 6-star for like, I think Michael Porter Jr. was that class. And like Michael Porter Jr. was like, hey, he's clearly that guy. And whether they won or 15th or 17th, you can't tell me that Nick Richards and Michael Porter Jr. was like the same 5 stars. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm like, it should be more stars to show like, okay, if Nick's a 5, Porter's a 6, because they are not the same. Right? Or if Porter's a 5, Nick's a 4, because they are not the same. So again, I wouldn't be opposed to no stars, like just rank just 1 through 150 or whatever, but they'll always break them into stars and tiers. Sites will zig and zag and try to, I know ESPN did it for a while. Their recruiting ranking would look nothing like anybody else's. And it was like, okay, well, they're just trying to shake it up. If somebody hits, they look good. And if not, nobody really cares. And I think that's my biggest issue. Like, if they hit on it, the site's like, yeah, we scouted them right. And if they're wrong, it's like, well, the kid was a bust. It wasn't our ranking. The kid was a bust. So I say all that to say that, yes, Kentucky stinks now, but I'm not really worried. Thanks for asking. Next question. What are some foods that you disliked when you were younger that you ended up being okay eating now? Or what's something you thought you wouldn't like, but after you tasted it, you liked it? Foods I disliked when I was younger that I was late to: yams. Sweet potato yams. Man, I don't know where I just did not like yams for the longest time. And I had some at like a function dinner. And I was like, these are the best yams I've ever had in my life. It's a low bar, but they were the best yams I'd ever had in my life. I've been eating them like crazy since. Broccoli. Broccoli is another one, and I still don't even quite get that. Right? Like, I wouldn't even tell you now that broccoli is good, but I eat it semi-regularly. Like, it used to be god-awful, I guess, and now it's just like, this is fine. I can eat a couple of florets of this. A little olive oil, some pepper, squeeze a little lemon on it. Foods I thought I wouldn't like, but after I tasted it, I did. I got deep dish pizza, man. Deep dish pizza, I got to be honest. Now, I think I've told this before. I tasted Pequod's in Chicago, it's deep dish. So the sauce is on top, but it's not all sauce on top, which is why I went, like, I was asking, I was like, I don't want that soup lasagna shit. I don't want that. And so I got recommended to Pequod's, and I went and I ordered, I think it was a medium, because I saw a small, I was like, it was All-Star Weekend. I was in Chicago. I was like, I'm going to be on the run. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave this in the room and I'll come back and eat off of it. So I was like, let me get a medium instead of like the small personal pan. Dude, buddy showed up with the delivery and he handed me that shit. I almost dropped it, man. Like, you know, somebody hand you something, or you pick up something that you were just not expecting to be that heavy. Like, you pick up a can or something, you think it's empty, and it's full. It almost drag you to the ground like Gronk trying to cover the Miami Dolphins. But, no, that Pequod's was good, man. I ate off that I got it in the afternoon. I ate off that. I ate some of that before I went to the dunk contest. I think I ate some after I got back that night drunk. And I still don't know if I was halfway done with that pizza. That shit was heavy, like home plate, man. Or, it was big like home plate. It was heavy like second base, though. Like, the shit was just, it was one, they don't cut it. Like, you can't cut it because all the sauce will run out. And he handed me that shit, and it felt like he, like, when they used to hand Wile E. Coyote the anchor, and he would just fall through the mountain floor. I thought that was what's going to happen. I thought I was going to throw out my back. But deep dish pizza and sushi. I got to say sushi. Like, the only kind I like is deep fried sushi, but I didn't even think I would like that. So, salute to me for expanding my boundaries. Next question is from RAR. Yeah, okay. I know I got two. I'm gonna make sure I didn't skip it. First one from RAR says, since we're nearing the holidays, what's the best and worst gifts you ever received? Could be as a youth or as an adult. The best gift that I've ever received for the holidays, when I was trying to think, I think I was like 7 or 8. It's one of those, like, I placed time by like where we lived, and I can remember where we lived. So I think I was like 7 or 8. It's Christmas morning, and it's like a big box. My dad's like, open that big box. So I opened this big box, and when I say big box, I'm thinking like, I'm trying to think like what the size of the box would be. Like, if you ordered like a mini microwave, or excuse me, a mini refrigerator, like a college refrigerator, like that size box, like a substantial box. So I opened that box. It's like some newspaper inside. I pulled a newspaper out, and it's a pair of suit coat pants in there, like just the pants to a suit. I didn't want a suit. You know what I'm saying? I was like 7 or 8. I don't want a fucking suit. Like a pantsuit. Like a fucking Hillary Clinton, man. My old man would be Kamala Harris for Christmas. A pantsuit. For like Olivia Pope. But you can't, you know what I'm saying? That's why I hate about Christmas. You gotta lie. You gotta cap. So I was like, oh, wow. Trousers. And my dad's like, well, don't just, like, you know, hold them up. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if they fit. And they were clearly too big for me. They were clearly not my size suit. But I'm just so mad in my head right now. Like, I got a fucking suit for Christmas. Not even a suit. Pants. Pants, nigga. Like, I just got pants. And so he's like, well, I mean, he's like, go on the box. He's like, there's a jacket. He's like, I think it's a shirt. It's a sock. It's a tie in there. It might be a little shoe. I go in there. I pull out the jacket. He's like, get the tie too. I go back under the jacket, under more newspaper, PlayStation box. The old man fooled me. He fooled me all along. And he was just running. It was like, yeah, let's try. Oh no, we can get that. We can get that tailor. We can get that hem. We'll put another button on it. Yeah, you like blue? Yeah, blue. And he's just laughing the entire time. I'm not laughing until I see the PlayStation. So that's the best gift I've ever got. The worst gift I've ever got, also Christmas. This was a few years ago. I got. An ex went to Ireland like around her birthday in the holiday season and brought me back some Guinness. Some Guinness beer. And she was like, I went to the brewery. This was like freshly canned and I shipped it over here because I know you like beer. I do like beer. I don't like Guinness though. Guinness is not beer. Guinness is motor oil. I don't know what that is. 10W40. Synthetic. I don't like Guinness. But she also brought white. If you had like the white Guinness or Guinness White, whichever. Which is better. Which is better than the regular Guinness, but it's not good. Ask me if I drank it though. Ask me. Every goddamn can. What am I supposed to do? Not drink it, man? Yay, beer. She was like, you don't like it. I was like, no, it's not that I don't like it. It's just that I don't traditionally drink Guinness. You know, your voice get high when you're lying. Yeah, I don't traditionally drink Guinness, but I've been looking for a new one to try. So I drank the Guinness and the Guinness Whites. But that was the worst gift I ever got. Our next question. Man, oh man. Well over 2. We ain't going that much longer. I promise we will not go like 6 hours a day. You have my word. Next question. What are the best movie/TV shows/documentaries to rewatch? Just something that never get old or you always come back to or put on if you see it on cable. Movie, like the best movie, like when I just feel like absolute war, like I just need to laugh, I go to Black Dynamite. Black Dynamite per capita, maybe the funniest movie I've ever seen. Certainly one of my favorites. I'm trying to think of movies. Like I know I'm not like I don't own a lot of like DVD movies, and I rarely sit down like I want to watch this movie. But yeah, definitely, and I miss that, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't have cable no more, so you don't just flip channels and be like, hey, Blue Streak is on. You know what I'm saying? Like if Blue Streak is on, I'll stop what I'm doing and watch Blue Streak. Martin, Dave Chappelle. So Blue Streak's up there. Fried green tomatoes. Don't sleep on what's name? Kathy Bates. Life, Eddie Murphy and Martin. Just one of those. Those are probably the main 3. If those are on, you can pretty much call the rest of my night off. I'm watching those. Shows to come back to and rewatch. Like when I say that, I thought of like shows like that I like go back to and watch through. Not like Simpsons. Like I go back to. I'll jump around, watch my favorite, watch whatever. But I didn't know if you meant like show, like, okay, I'm going to run this back through. And for that, I went Peaky Blinders, man. I went Peaky. It's almost that time for another rerun of it. Because it's 6 episodes a season, 4 seasons, hour a pop. Like, it ain't no filler, man. It ain't 13 episodes of The Wire where they're talking about boats for no reason. So, probably Peaky's my my rewatch. Documentaries, I rarely watch. I rarely rewatch documentaries. I should say I watch a lot of documentaries. I don't rewatch them too much. But for right now, I think there's a question on this later. I'm just watching Dark Side of the Ring right now. It's basically, it's all wrestling, and I love it. Like, it's wrestling stories behind the scenes, like from my era and even before my era. And that's what I wonder now. Like, because everything, I feel the same for The Last Dance, right? Like, we're not going to be able to do this. Nobody's going to watch anything 10 years on this Lakers team or that Raptors team, like, or the War, like any of those teams. We have so much access right now. There's nothing you could show us in 10 years that could be like, oh yeah, we didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? It's all been told or will be told. This Beyond the Mat, boy, they got some stories, man. Like, I've only watched 3. The one I watched last night was Bruiser Brody. And no spoilers, but it was a doozy. It was a doozy. I will say this. I just that I don't rewatch documentaries. I did rewatch The Last Dance, all 10 parts. And it was propaganda, and it was also awesome. And it was nice because, again, they were showing it 2 a week. Excuse me, 2 every Sunday for 5 weeks. And so I'm watching that, trying to get jokes off with the timeline. At the time, trying to like tweet from the main account for Barstool, tweet like jokes and stuff that were relevant. And so when I went back and rewatched it, like one part at a time, it really is, you just catch it and grasp so much more than if it's like, okay, here's an hour, I'm trying to tweet through it and catch up, and then here's another hour, trying to tweet through it and catch up. So those are really good. Those are probably my 2. I can't even say rewatch for Dark Side of the Ring, but I might rewatch those when I get done. Those have been really good. Next question. As a person who's a fan of UK football, what do you root for as a fan when there is zero chance you ever win the championship? I'm new to college sports fandom, and I want to be able to enjoy my team, Maryland, when they're terrible. My friend, you are in luck. I think you're in the sweet spot. You're in the sweet spot, and I will tell you why. College football, to me, college football is the best experience live. Like tailgate, camaraderie, drinking, all that included. It's the best experience live. It's the shortest commitment, right? It's 12, 13 games, right? And again, win the championship. So you start beginning of September. You're done by Christmas, dude. Y'all already played whatever shitty bowl. Like, you're done. You're done. Christmas, end of the year, you're done. And it's the opposite of college basketball. In college basketball, no regular season game matters. Because you have regular season, then your conference tournament, then the regular season tournament. Then the NCAA tournament. College football, this is the only sport where, like, losing week 1 might legit knock you out of title contention, depending on who you are. Right? Like, if it's Alabama, they got time to make it up. But if you're one of those, if you're a UCF, Utah, like you trying to get into the playoff, you cannot lose week 1 and make it back. Every game matters. So I appreciate that in college football. The games matter. But you also, like, hey, man, we lost a tough one on the chin by 86 points to Florida. Looks like we're out of the title conversation. So for when who's even good in the ACC now? Florida State stink. I think Miami's good. Okay, so say Miami beat Maryland by like 50 points opening weekend. You're like, cool. Whew. I ain't want to be stressed till Christmas that we was going to make the title game. So it's really a load off your back. And in college football, like one win, legit 1 or 2 wins over the right teams over a season can make your year. Can make your year. You can go 0 for whatever and you beat your rival. Or you beat, like, the Heisman winner. Or you beat your rival who won the Heisman. Like when Kentucky whooped Lamar Jackson's ass. That was great. That was great. And the best thing about college football, the bar for success is so relative. Like in college basketball, like nobody's trying to just win the conference title. You know what I'm saying? That's why, like, it's like, hey, Bill Self has won 115 straight conference titles. Very cool. Very cool. They got regular season and the conference turn. Like, it's so much shit that doesn't matter in college basketball. But the bar for success, again, in college football is relative. NBA, MLB, NFL, you're trying to win the title, like the title. But when I legit tell you, if Kentucky football even made the SEC title game, just made it in Atlanta, the game would be a blast. We would lose by 47 points, and I would have so much fun. There would be so many Kentucky fans there just thrilled that we were just getting slaughtered in the SEC championship. Like, this is awesome, man. Like, we're just getting ready for the Yankee Candle Bowl. But this is awesome. We don't have that stress. Alabama, like, oh, we won now. Was it too easy? Now we got to go to the playoff. And rah. You don't have that stuff. You have the bowl games. And the bowl games, you really only remember them if you win. Like, it's sick, dude. You make a bowl game and you lose, you just, I know we lost the bowl game to East Carolina. I couldn't tell you the bowl of the year or anything about that. I know we just beat Virginia Tech, though, in the Belt Bowl. And Lynn Bowden took his shirt off and punched some members of Virginia Tech's team in the mouth before the game and then punched them in the mouth during the game. Like, that's the type of college football legend, right? Like Lynn Bowden. You don't get that in any sport. Lynn Bowden, a wide receiver. I think it was a 4-star recruit. Like, decent. He was a big get for Kentucky. Came in his last year. Terry Wilson, the quarterback, got hurt. Lynn Bowden plays quarterback, which he did in high school. I think we won like 7 or 8 games. Like, he became a legend off that. Lynn Bowden going to be a legend in Kentucky forever off that season. And this year, only this year, Corona year, you don't have to win any games, bro. They eliminated all the bowl restrictions. Because these companies, the Yankee Candle and Lazy Boy, they just want money. So it's like, I don't care if they're the 6-6 team, if they're 2-8. Like, Kentucky we finished 4-6, and I would be stunned if we didn't get like at least a reasonably decent, like Music City, like a decent bowl, just because they know Kentucky fans show up, they spend money. These companies want money. They bought the Belt Bowl for the next 15 years. They don't care about the Corona this year. You better play a game. You know what I'm saying? So, welcome to college football, man. Because Maryland's they'll win. I'll be honest, I don't know if they're good or bad. I feel like they put a couple NFL players into the league. I think Stephon Diggs went to Maryland. So yeah, you'll get somebody to root for on Sunday every once in a while. A decent game. I hope you go to Maryland. That's why you picked Maryland, since you're new to college sports fandom and can get to go to some of the games, because that will affect your experience a lot. So, welcome to the sweet spot, my man. Welcome. Next question. Here's our second question from Rare, R-A-R. It said, James Harden gifted Lil Baby $100,000 cash, a Richard Mille watch, and a Prada bag full of honey buns for his birthday. I need your thoughts on this. And a follow-up question, is James Harden to blame for Lil Baby's $16,000 adultery? King JTR added on, said, to add to this question, if you were to receive a Prada bag for your birthday like this one, what would the variety of items be in it? So, again, I'll answer the second part first. Well, first, before that, let me say this. What a friend. What a friend James Harden is. Rich people love watches. I like watches a lot, too. But rich people love watches. And they love giving other people watches. So, man, just give me a Prada bag full of cosmic cupcakes, man. And I watch me just eat the strap off the damn bag. Like, I know y'all know cosmic brownies. But it was limited edition, man. If you knew, you knew. They did cosmic cupcakes, and them shits was so good. So give me a Prada bag. You can keep the 100 racks. You can keep the Richard Mille. Put that toward cosmic cupcakes, JTR. So that's the second part. First part is James Harden to blame for Lil Baby's adultery. And the story is Lil Baby got caught. I mean, he's not, I don't think he's married, but he got caught messing around. A porn star leaked it that he paid her, I think, $16,000 for some sort of rendezvous. And I think Harden's partly to blame. I think he's partly to blame. And I'll tell you why. Because Lil Baby was probably telling him about it, man. And he was like, you know what I'm saying? I'd like to sample it. And I've got 16 kids. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the money thing. It's the principle. And James Harden said, man, you don't even worry about that, bro. Like, don't fret. $16K is like a quarter of work for James Harden. You know what I'm saying? So James was like, here's $100,000. Try it out 6 times. I think 16 goes into 106 times with some change. Yeah, try it out 6 times. See what you like. You know what I'm saying? So he does wear some of that with Baby. Because what's Baby supposed to do? Right? He's like, I don't know if I want to try that. I might not like it. Maybe I should stick to my chicken tenders. He said, man, order that steak. Order 6 steaks. Order 6 steaks. But I'll also say this. Men paying for the company of respectable ladies. It's the oldest profession in the book. 1. And 2, it's men's business. Mind yours. Okay? Everybody that was mad that Lil Baby was paying $16K for, hey, mind yours. That man want to buy some trim on the side. He made freestyle. He made exotic. Like, you know what I'm saying? What I'm supposed to say? No, Little Baby. Of course. So just mind yours. Mind yours. Next question from Diggy Sticks. What up, Diggy? Diggy says, after some recent wrestling talk on the streams had me wondering, what would you pick for your wrestling walkout music, and what would be the theme of your character? Great question, Diggy. I'd be the fake son of D'Lo Brown. That's the angle. That's the gimmick. Because D'Lo Brown was one of my favorite wrestlers. He was one of my favorite, but he wasn't a star. He won, I think, like the IC belt, European belt. So you got to get those like pops. But I would be like the fake son of D'Lo Brown, and I'd come back like Nation of Domination. I'd get Jim Johnston, the WWE composer, to remix that D'Lo Brown thing. Like, you're looking at the real deal now. That song. Get him to remix that, jazz that up, because Jim Johnston don't miss. Update, like make the chest protector Kevlar. You know what I'm saying? Make it bulletproof. And yeah, Low Down Brown, son of D'Lo. I'm in there. I'm shaking my head. I'm pointing to the crowd. I'm leg dropping. I think it could work. Next question. What fictional character from any movie or TV show would you most want to chill with? I think there are only 2 acceptable answers here. 3 if you include Homer Simpson, but he feels like, you know what I'm saying, he's transcended the game. Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders and Morris L. Tibbs from Smart Guy. And preferably, I would get to hang out with those guys at the same time. Like just me and Shelby, we're at the Garrison, you know, drinking some of the house whiskey. Mo Tibbs, we in the back room, he just beatboxing. Tommy freestyling. I'm throwing in ad-libs. Garrison. Don't fuck with the blinders. So just us 3. Me, Tommy Shelby, and Morris L. Tibbs. That's the fictional characters I'd want to hang out with more than anybody. Next question. How little money would it take for you to actually choose lunch with Jay-Z? Great question. And we joke about it a lot. Like, would you take the $10,000 cash or the $850 credit score or lunch with Jay-Z? And in all seriousness, I wouldn't have lunch with Jay-Z for free. I'm just not interested. Respectfully, I'm just not interested. I enjoy him as a rapper. Let's leave it at that. You know what I mean? Let's leave it at that. I don't want to meet him, have him say anything that just spoils reasonable doubt for me. So I'm good. Like, no thanks, Hov. No thanks. Now, Bleak. Give me lunch with Memphis Bleak. He's the one that got the stories. I know Bleak got the story. So give me lunch with Bleak. I'm good off lunch with Jay. All right. And I think our last couple questions. And these, I'll tell you right now, these are deep dive ones. I'm going to read them now, but these are going to be added to whenever the next deep dive episode is. First one from Whack Human Being. Whack said, in the close personal friend chat, in the Discord, we briefly discussed the somewhat common high school college job experience of working at a chain restaurant and using their building block ingredients to make custom menu items, perhaps, allegedly, with some candle to take the creative process in directions corporate could never imagine. If you had the opportunity to run buck wild in the kitchen of any chain restaurant, fully stocked with their normal ingredients, which chain would you choose and what are some of the custom items you'd create? For this hypothetical, you're not limited by your real life cooking skills. Assume you have a crack team of chefs and you're just sheshing and sheeshing while calling plays like Mississippi Sherman. Great question, Wack. That's a deep diver. That's a deep diver. We're putting a pin in that one. That's a deep diver. Next one is from 3 on a Mac, 3 Mac. What are your favorite commercials of all time? And maybe a deep dive on the Negro Leagues. Put a pin in those, 3 Mac. Those are deep divers. Those are deep divers. So there was one, I think it was about redrafting like the first 10 picks of the draft, maybe. I don't know. There's some other deep dive stuff. So we're the deep dive 2 episodes coming along. Now, there were a couple of things I wanted to say, close out with. First, these are just some random thoughts. Like last week was session sheet, so I didn't get to get my random thoughts off. So these are just some random thoughts. One, Clubhouse, the app. I don't like it. Random thought number 2. And this didn't happen to me to make me think of it, but it's happened to me before. Like when you see, what made me think of it? I saw I didn't follow, but they were tweeting in a way that it sounded suicidal, right? Again, I don't know the person to know like how they tweet, but I saw people like responding to it like it was, rightfully so, like it should be taken seriously. And people just kept saying, it's like, hey, you are so important to me and so many other people, and I want you to know that. Listen, that's not helping people the way you think it's helping people, okay? And I do think it comes from a good place. I don't think it's ill-intentioned, but telling somebody who's already got like that much on their mind, that much on their plate, it's like, hey, here's one more thing to consider. All these people, you'd be letting us all down. So again, just a random thought. Random thought number 3. Love language is cap, man. Everybody like love language. You take the love languages test. I think it's all cap because from what I've seen, people will like find your love language, right? But they'll love you in their love language, not yours, right? It's like, okay, I found out that, I like spending time with people and she like giving gifts. So she gives gifts, right? And it's like, why don't you like these gifts? That's the number 1 love language. No, that's your number 1 love language. I like quality time or whatever. This shit's cap. It's cap. Random thought number 4. Man, you cannot understand the level of shock. And I feel like I remember it when I realized that my grandmothers knew each other independent of me. Like all this time, I thought I was the tie that bound, right? I remember like, hey, Dad's mom, I got somebody you should meet. She's a middle-aged black woman, not unlike yourself. Loving, caring, nice, all that. I think you two would hit it off. And they already knew each other. It was like, we went to school together. I said, school? It was like Family Guy showing up on The Simpsons. It was a mashup I just wasn't prepared for. Last random thought. You remember when getting accused of liking somebody was like the worst thing ever? And now it's like nobody cares. Like it was like, Whiskers like City Girl JT. No, I don't. I don't like her dark skin and luscious lips. I'll blow this bitch up. Don't say that I like her. I don't like her. That's the random thoughts for the week. Merch. Someone want to talk about. Been getting asked about that. Merch soon come. Soon come. Found a designer within the community, within the Patreon community, working with, try to have like a few options drop at the same time. Like the last time I just did a couple shirts, like one and one at a time. So I'm trying to have a couple options. I'm gonna try it through the Patreon because I saw like they can recommend what tiers you put it at, but I still have the final control, so I can decide what goes where. So I think they've got options for like stickers, shirts, hoodies, tote bag, couple more. So that is in the works. Like we're tweaking the design. Got a couple ones I think people are really gonna enjoy. So yeah, we'll try it through the Patreon merch. If it ain't funky, if it ain't working out there, then we'll like keep the pod stuff there and take the merch stuff somewhere else. But it is coming along. Had been asked about that. It is in the works. And something I was going to talk about, but it was a question I got. So, do you get a SAG card or IMDb entry for the Laser Wolf stuff? Here's the thing. As you may or may not know, I did a voiceover for a couple promos for Laser Wolf. It's a show on Adult Swim. Comes on Sundays at midnight. And season 1's on HBO Max. Should you feel so inclined. But, so they were explaining this stuff to me because I don't know how any of this stuff works. And a lady was talking to me. She was like, you get a couple, you get a few SAG projects, right? So you don't, do one thing and you got to pay dues and all this. They give you a few. And then you can decide, right? Like if this is going to be a regular thing, then you join SAG, you pay the fee, and then you pay annual fees and shit like that. But if not, it was like, hey, if you did a couple one-offs, then there's no reason to join SAG. I was like, okay, cool. So I did a voiceover for the promos, Space Ghoul, and I moderated a panel for Laser Wolf for their upcoming season. And so after that, I recently just got a letter like, hey, buddy boy, time to join SAG. And I was like, I don't really want to. You know what I mean? Because the thing is, I don't know if I'm going to be using this again. Because, like, Space Ghoul and I'll say that I watched the show, like, to prepare for the moderating and to know what kind of show I was getting into. It's a 10-minute show, which, magnifique. 10 minutes. It's Adult Swim. Everything's weird, but everybody in the universe is black. So my character was Space Ghoul, like Black Space Ghost. And so people saw like the promo, it's like, oh man, it's just ripping off Space Ghost. And it's like, not quite, because once you see the show and understand that everybody in the universe is black, like they got like Kelsey Grammer, Phil Jackson, a couple other people, and it's like, oh, that's not Black Phil Jackson. That's not knockoff Kelsey Grammer. They're just black in this universe. Right? So I do think it makes more sense once you watch. But like going forward, I don't know. And the creator, Henry Bonsu, shout out to Henry and shout out to Judnick Mayer, who's been a great friend for many years, who, like, she was the one that patched that together. She was the plug for that. So shout out to Judnick and Henry. But Henry told me, it was like, hey, like, these are for the promos. If we get a season 3, right? If we get a season 3, maybe Space Ghoul is a recurring character. So I was like, okay, so that would be something to join the SAG for, get the IMDb for. But it's got to get to season 3, right? So this is where you come in. No, I mean, that's what it comes down to. If I'm going to get a SAG card or whatever, if we get a season 3, we'll see. Right? Again, season 2, midnight, Sundays, Adult Swim, Laser Wolf. Again, season 1's on HBO Max. So if the people were to do something crazy, like watch the old shows and watch the new ones and all that, then maybe we get a season 3 and maybe Space Ghoul and maybe I'd have a SAG card and all that. But until then, I ain't joining SAG. I ain't paying the $5. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do it. So, we'll see. That is the answer to that question. We will see. And the last thing I wanted to get to or cover this week, and y'all bear with me, I don't know how many takes it's going to take me. A I lost a good friend of mine this week, unexpectedly. And she was the mother of a good friend of mine. And she just had such an influence on me. Because she came into my life at a point where I can admit I was at my lowest, like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, whatever, financially. Like I had just got fired from my job, and my friend gave my number to her mother, and she would text me and she would call me every day. A text or a call, usually a text, but every day, every morning. And she would send like a morning scripture, some morning inspiration. She would call me and see how I was feeling. She helped me fill out like unemployment paperwork. She helped me fill out like disability paperwork for like depression, anxiety. She's one of the first people to get me to take that seriously, to take my mental health seriously. And she would always let me know, like, it's okay, take care of yourself mentally in that way. And she really, really encouraged me to take my mental health seriously. She would like send me resources like, okay, you can talk to or see like a therapist here without insurance. You can apply for this. You can go here. If you take this medicine, this will help with this, the side effects, or this XYZ, everything. She helped with all of that. And she really got me to take my mental health seriously. So I can say without a doubt, I would not be here today without her. She had it felt like a sixth sense, supernatural sense of texting me or calling me like before I got up to the ledge. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't she talked me down from the ledge. She caught me. She always somehow knew before I was even taking the elevator or the steps or trying to climb a fucking gym rope up the side to the ledge. So it was no talking down because she knew. She always knew. And the last message that she sent me was the morning before she passed. And it said, remember, you are strong and can overcome anything. And I want to call cap on that shit so bad. So bad. But she knows. She knew. She always knew. So if you enjoy anything I've ever done, really, like since getting in or on this like space 4, 5, 6 years ago, I'm not sure when people were introduced or came on to me, but if you have enjoyed any part of me over that time, you have her to thank. You have her to thank. And I try to find solace in the fact that she told me that she loved me often, and I told her that I loved her often. So there were no misunderstandings about that. And I can't imagine what her daughters, her immediate family are going through. Because I know what I'm going through. And I tell you, I've never in person met this woman. I've never met this woman in person. That's the type of impact that she had on me via the phone, via text. So I've never too much really bought when people say, like, you know what I'm saying? You can't be, you crying or you affected over people that you never even met People don't even know you. I don't buy that. I've never really bought that, right? Like it's Twitter, right? Like it's people been on it 5, 6, 7 years. And people say it's just Twitter. And I've always said it's not just Twitter. You know what I'm saying? It's just Twitter until it's people you've been following 5, 6, 7 years. And you done seen them graduate school and get jobs and lose jobs and get more jobs, get better jobs, and get into relationships and get out of relationships and back into relationships and have children and pass away, right? Like it's only those things until you realize you're interacting with these people every single day more than you do a lot of your family and friends. So that's the type of impact she had on me. And I've never met her face to face. Never met her face to face. But she had such a substantial impact on me. Again, I just know I wouldn't be here without her. So she will be missed. She's already missed. So I say all that to say thank you to her for the impact that she had on me. So that'll do it for this week. Take care of yourselves. Tell your people you love them. And we'll catch you next week.
Shadows are falling and I'm running out of breath. Keep me in your heart for a while. If I leave you, it doesn't mean I love you any less. Keep me in your heart for a while. When you get up in the morning and you see that crazy sun, keep me in your heart for a while. There's a train leaving nightly called when all is said and done. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sometimes when you're doing simple things around the house, maybe you'll think of me and smile. You know I'm tied to you like the buttons on your blouse. Keep me in your heart for a while. Hold me in your thoughts, take me to your dreams, touch me as I fall into view. And when the winter comes, keep the fires lit, and I will be right next to you. Engine drivers headed north to Pleasant Stream, keep me in your heart for a while. These wheels keep turning, but they're running out of steam. Keep me in your heart for a while. Sha